usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
Well, I suppose it's Bryan Adams' birthday today, and who cares about that?
I don't want to do that.
But Johnny Greenwood's birthday.
Can I go?
But there's plenty of Radiohead around.
Can I go back to Bryan Adams for a second?
If you'd like to. As a matter of fact, open the door for her so she can go back to it.
Here's what kind of person Bryan Adams is. He's the only person to ever turn down James Corden to do carpool karaoke.
He did?
He's
I don't think so.
I don't want it.
Okay.
I'd have to.
Who do you think you are, Bryan Adams?
I'd have to drive all the way from Canada.
He's not the only person.
Yeah.
I turned him down.
Did you?
I did.
Why did you do that?
Because I can't sing.
Oh.
Johnny Greenwood of Radiohead's birthday. It's a Tesla's birthday. Kevin Jonas, one of the Jonas Brothers. Well, we wouldn't do that.
He's the least of the Jonas.
And then famous people who died on this day.
Oh.
Johnny Horton.
Oh, yeah?
We could have played the Battle of New Orleans. What do you mean? 18 to 14, we took a little trip down the mighty Jackson to the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon, we took a little beans, and we fought the bloody British in the town of New Orleans.
There, we did it.
Barry Sadler's birthday. Death Day. Death Day. The Ballad of the Green Beret.
A lot of battle songs.
Yeah. And the guy who wrote a very famous song, You Are My Sunshine.
Aww.
Probably been sung by more mothers to more children. Isn't that the go-to song that moms sing to their kids?
Is it in public domain as well? Means you don't have
Probably.
to pay anybody for it?
Yeah.
I did my kids a favor and didn't sing it to them.
And a really great singer died on this day, Bobby Hatfield, the Righteous Brothers. However, that song,
Queen, just because it took all the money over the weekend.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I asked people that have seen it, including Sean Means, because my kids really want to see it. And in my mind, I'm like, I know the Freddie Mercury story. Maybe that's not something they should see. And everyone has told me, which is one of the criticisms of the film, no, it's perfectly fine for your kids.
Yeah.
Apparently they show Freddie Mercury pinching a waiter on the butt. And that's about as close as they get to.
So, this weekend we'll go see it.
But so what? I mean, even if they had showed Freddie Mercury, having a relationship with another man, why wouldn't you take your kids to see that?
I would take them to see that. But it wouldn't just be having that story could be an adult story, is what I'm saying. Could be.
So you're okay taking them to see a movie which will probably bore them to tears.
No, they'll love it.
I think that'll bore them.
They love the music, and from what I hear, that's the best part of it. Is
the last 20 minutes of the movie.
It's a big music video.
Apparently, the last 20 minutes.
I own their best of album. I'm okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think it's supposed to be a pretty boring movie, all in all. The last 20 minutes, that's when it.
I'll wait.
Well, I'm going.
Yeah, let us know.
Okay. And you know how much we value and trust your critical opinion.
Yeah.
So I guess we ought to start the show officially. So let's do it. Now there is no prize for check-ins today, which means
there's absolutely no reason to do it.
No
right.
incentive.
Other than just it gives us some indication that we might want to try to do a show.
The prize, Bill, and you always sell this short. You get to be on the radio.
Listen, I've been on the radio for over 30 years. That's no prize for me or for you listening.
You call 877-602-9696, and your voice will be heard by dozens of people.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Dozens.
Tens of
dozens.
Dozens?
There might be, there are people listening that you could count on both hands. And maybe toes. So call 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show and tell us in 3 words or less, what's the best way to attain happiness? What's the best way to be happy? 3 words or less. 877-602-9696. I bet you can't do it. I bet. 3 words or less.
Is that a dare?
Yeah,
It's a dare.
I double
now.
dare you. 877-602-9696. 3 words or less. What's the best way to get happy?
All right. Let's see. Oh, we got that big concert announcement coming up at 7.
It's the Nightmare Before Xmas show, right?
We'll tell you all about that. I have the information right here, but I'm not going to show you on the camera.
At 7:50.
7:50. That's right.
750.
Let me write that down.
You know, the best way to be happy is to be warm in your house this time of the year. That's why you should call Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
I being warm's good, but I want them to come check out my humidifier that's attached to my because that heated air is dry air, and having a good humidifier attached to it is a good idea.
Yeah, if your humidifier doesn't work well, or if you don't have one, you will have bad problems with allergies. And when we start getting the pollution in the valley, that's when you need a good humidifier as well, because a humidifier will help ameliorate, if I may use that word, allergic symptoms to bad air. So call Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air, or go to their website. They are fully licensed, insured, and bonded HVAC contractors. They will do a great job. You will be delighted with Scott Hale, I promise. So call 801-264-HALE. That's 801-264-HALE, or go to scotthale.com.
We're giving away an iPad every weekday in the Mac Warehouse Apple Harvest.
Richie called me last night to ask if he should have said something. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was a little.
You
I
had that
did a
little
little.
panic look on your face.
Yeah.
He called me. He'd said something yesterday to management, and we won't go into what that was.
Okay.
But he called me and asked me. He told me what he said, and then he said, "Do you think I should have done that?" Now,
Well,
when
you asked that question,
you should probably already know the answer,
it
right?
means, you shouldn't have asked.
But I think you didn't care for my response.
Well, no, because you actually told me honestly. Most of the time, you just tell me, I don't care, or it doesn't matter, or whatever you choose is the best decision for you. Bill always gives me those vague, like parental answers. So I go, okay, perfect. I can justify it in my mind and move on.
And when I say that, I mean that.
Sure.
Because it doesn't matter in the long run. Just make a choice and go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what he called me about last night, I said, yeah, probably not. probably shouldn't have done that.
Well, now I'm curious as to what
I'll
it
tell
is.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll tell you off the air. But you shouldn't have done that. And now that you have, there's nothing you can do about it. So I would just...
Well, and since that conversation, I received communication back, and the dust is settled in. It's fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, okay. So, but was it the thing you were telling me about?
About this morning, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably. That seemed awfully ballsy. But is that the new Richie? Is that the I'm standing up
it's,
to?
yeah, a little bit.
But it just seemed to, and as I said to him, there are certain positions worth taking and certain positions not worth taking.
It's the pick your battles.
Yeah, you got to just, and this was the wrong battle to pick.
Right.
And then I said, and if you don't like it here, just get out. That's what,
Well, and that's all because you're not used to standing up for yourself. You're learning.
Right, I'm getting there.
You know, so.
Well, it's hard to do.
It's hard to do because the other part of Richie, and you guys have never seen this. The other part of Richie used to have
The gay part?
A really no,
we've
that's
seen
the
that.
part.
That's the
You've
part we
seen the
have
gay
seen.
part.
Yeah, we've seen that.
The really bad temper, and
You?
the raging. Oh yeah,
Huh.
for a long time in my early teen years, it was everything would set me off, and just
Did you get in fights with people?
more verbal, but just terribly abusive language coming from me
Really?
towards people. Swearing at my mom and not running away, but that kind of kid running away that you do. And the whole deal. And,
Slamming doors.
Yeah,
You were
slamming
a door slammer.
Oh yeah,
Big
and
door
I
slammer.
hate you.
Yeah,
And
big door slammer, yeah.
all that stuff. And then
How did you get rid of that?
I just decided it's not who I wanted to be anymore. But sometimes it comes back a little bit. Is he on the?
You might be. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there he is.
I was full of rage one time in my life. Oh, hello.
Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 619.
Well, those two fame whores, Braden and Dean, who want to be heard by dozens of people, have done that. They've called to check in. 877-602-9696. And if you, too, want to be heard by dozens of people for no prize, there's a line open. You can check in with the Radio from Hell show and tell us in 3 words or less what's the best way to attain happiness. But for now, let's officially begin the Radio from Hell show.
Brought to you by the Downtown Farmers Market, presenting the Winter Market Saturdays from 10 to 2, starting on November 10th at Rio Grande Depot. Shop fresh local goods from local purveyors. More details at slcfarmersmarket.org.
The moon is what a waning crescent moon. Why it's hardly even worth speaking of, because it's just barely there. Waning crescent, it is 5.5% of full. It'll be a new moon that is totally gone November 7th at 9:01 a.m. The moon will set today at 4:42 p.m., today being Monday. It's the 5th day of November. Oh, remember, the 5th of November.
That's what we're doing today.
The gunpowder treason, yeah.
We'll watch
right.
V for Vendetta today.
Yeah.
You do every year, don't you?
Every year.
In the year of
Sue
our
loves
Lord,
that movie.
in the year of our Lord 2018, and this is North America's most rhodomenthine radio broadcast. I had no idea. I had to look it up. Wow. Rhodomenthine, meaning harshly strict.
Ooh.
I don't think it's a word that you'll ever hear again, and it's a word that you'll probably never use. This is the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation to me because I say that for his protection, is producing video for the show that you can see at x96.com/live. And Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal, is producing and helping out with the show as well. He's kind of an associate producer, if you will, of the program. All right. Check-ins.
Check-ins brought to you by Del Taco's new Epic Triple Meat Burrito. It has triple the meat for triple the flavor. Hand-grilled carne asada, chicken, and crispy bacon. Now that's an epic burrito. Participation may vary.
Still a line open at 877-602-9696 to check in. Tell us in 3 words or less what's the best way to become happy.
All right. Let's begin with Braden.
Braden, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Braden, for the half a dozen or so people, the handful of hearty Radio from Hell listeners this time of the morning, what's the best way to be happy?
Being kind towards others.
Well,
being kind towards others.
That's 4 words, but I mean, you could have just said being kind.
Yeah.
Right.
If you find that when you are kind to others, that makes you happy. I think that's a good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Braden. I wish we had a prize.
Thank you.
I wish we had a prize to give you. Thank you.
All right.
You want to know what? Your prize that you've given me is allowing me to talk on the radio and be friendly with you guys.
See?
There we go.
Thank you for another gift.
And get your moment in the spotlight for those dozens of listeners. All right, thanks,
All right,
Braden.
Braden.
Gosh.
Let's go to Dean.
Hi, Dean. Hi,
Hello.
Dean.
Hello.
Hi. 3 words.
Hi.
3 words or less, Dean.
Stay off Twitter.
Stay off Twitter.
Amen.
I have a Twitter problem
Have you
myself.
had a Twitter problem, Dean?
I do. I have a terrible Twitter problem.
What is it that you tweet too much, or you get angry at how much Gina tweets?
A little of both.
No.
All right. Thanks for checking in, Dean.
All right, Dean.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. This is Tasha.
Good morning.
Checking in.
Good morning.
3 words or less, Tasha. The best way to attain happiness.
Acceptance, love, and curiosity.
Curiosity.
Well,
Curiosity.
you find curiosity makes you happy. Are you curious all the time? Do you strive to be
Well,
curious?
in order to know what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy, you have to be curious about things. It's the nature of humans. So to accept yourself and your place in the world, love yourself and who you are and who's around your life, and then be curious about the world, you can go through life and obtain things that make you happy.
Yeah, but you get, if you're overly curious, they say, curiosity is what killed the cat.
Yeah, that happens.
You get burned sometimes, but it's all part of the learning experience, isn't it?
Well, then that doesn't make you happy, and you shouldn't do that anymore.
All
I
right.
think that's called common sense.
Tasha, you seem to have the world by the tail.
No, I'm a mom. I have no choice.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Tasha. See ya.
Thank you. We got a few texters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Except it's temporary.
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Happiness is temporary.
Extended vacations.
Yeah, that's good.
Seizure Monica says radio from hell.
Oh, that works for everything.
Absolutely.
Let's see. A lot of smoking weed and a lot of self-love in the texts and chat room.
Oh, I know what that means.
Let's see. Forgiving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Kendra says minimalize your stuff.
Yeah.
Get rid of stuff.
Yeah. Carry the coordinator. Blue Wave.
That's tomorrow.
Yep. Accept
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Accept life's challenges from bus driver Allison. Big City SLC Ben. Weed and therapy. See, there's a pattern here.
A lot of weed out there.
Yeah. Stop negative thoughts. Get a dog.
Well, if you want a friend, that's what you need to do is get a dog.
I guess. Oh, don't become a stepmom. There you go.
It's not always bad.
We got time to go to Mike. One last call there.
Mike is rapid.
Hi,
Hello,
Mike. Mike.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
Good,
Mike.
Mike. 3 words or less, Mike. Best way to attain happiness.
Vote Republican.
Oh.
Vote Republican.
Okay.
Well, have you already voted, Mike?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, but in my defense, I like to get my liberal, talk show on in the morning from you guys.
Well, thanks,
That's
Mike.
okay.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Both sides.
All right.
Get both sides of the argument.
That's good. I appreciate it. I listen to the conservative talk shows, too.
All right.
Thanks for checking in, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Right on.
See ya. Right on. Right on. Right on.
Just makes it too easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does.
I like it.
Let's see. We got news coming up. Stand by for that.
We've got
plenty of,
typical liberal.
Yeah. Also, Bill Frost will be here talking TV. Spencer Cox is going to be here at 7 o'clock, Lieutenant Governor, to talk us through last-minute voting. Be ready for that. Concert announcement at 7:50.
He's a conservative.
He is.
Yeah.
Traffic is pretty good so far this morning. I'm seeing green cameras, mostly up and down the Wasatch Front, although I do have one crash to tell you about southbound I-15 at 550 South in Layton, off to the left shoulder. If you see anything, you can text it to us, 33986. Let's see. Be fall ready with LASIK from Hoops Vision. Call 877-30-LASIK or hoopsvision.com.
Now, I'm going to say this. Winter is coming. And I'm not talking about Game of Thrones. I'm talking about Big O Tires. Winter is coming, and Big O Tires wants you and your family to be safe.
You want your snow tires. You may think I'm okay with these all seasons.
No,
get your snow tires.
I got my snow tires at the Big O up on Highland Drive.
Be prepared on the wintry roads. Come in for snow tires now at Big O Tires, starting at just $49.95. Big O knows that tires can be an unexpected expense, and that's why they offer you, yes, you, no credit needed financing. So no matter what your budget, no matter what your situation, they have financing tailored for you. And Big O has the lowest prices on every tire every day. They carry all the major brands, too. Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Nitto, Continental, Cooper, and more. I like the Big O brand myself.
They're good tires.
But get ready for winter with a winter healthy car special for just $49.95. That's oil change, tire rotation, all of that stuff. Big O has 40 locations from Logan to Richfield. Find a location near you. They're the team you trust, BigOTires.com.
John Smith hosts a 1-hour nonstop music wingding at 10 a.m. on X96.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders. In this episode, we find our missionaries tracting underground on Janus 6. Wow, Would you look at these caverns? They're incredible.
You sure we have the right planet?
Yeah, I am. Janus 6. Why, Jas?
Oh, just because this planet is uninhabited, that's all.
Well, I'm sure that Zone Leader Hansen had a good reason to send us here.
Yeah, like all the residents of this planet were killed by some unknown force, and he's hoping that we stumble upon it.
Now, Butch, you be nice. Hey, looky here. Perfectly round, shiny rocks.
Hey, a collection of bowling balls. Well, maybe there is life on this planet after all.
I don't think those are bowling balls. Hey, you shouldn't be touching those.
Well, you're right. They ain't bowling balls. The weight's all wrong, and they don't have holes drilled in them. Hey, you hear that?
You mean the menacing sound of a big rock sneaking up on us?
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Well, from the looks of it, I'd say it's a big rock sneaking up on us.
What the flip?
Oh, you better put down the bowling ball real slow and easy, Butch. I don't think the big rock that's been sneaking up on us likes the way you're handling it, and it's staring at us, too.
Okay, here you go.
It's backing off. Excuse me, Mr. or Mrs. Big Rock. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi. Hey, look, it's burning some words into the cavern floor. Me, Horta, these my babies. No kill I. Hey, she's friendly, and she has kids, so it means she must be married.
Mrs. Horta, we represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons. Hey, she just crossed out the no from no kill I.
Oh, so much for being a friendly rock.
Looks like this might just be a time to make an exit there, Lehigh. Let me just grab one of these little rocks as a souvenir. My cousin would love to have a real live pet rock.
I don't think she wants you to have one of our babies, Butch. Look out! Is this the end of our missionaries? Will Butch get to send a pet rock home to his cousin? Will Lehigh make him put it back? Is it legal to bowl with a silicone-like form egg? To find out the answers to these questions, tune in next time to hear Butch say...
Okay, lady, back off or the little rock gets it.
Now, Butch, that's no way to talk to a prospective convert. Now give her back her baby. On the next bone-chilling episode of Space Elders!
Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, big boy news and opinioendo now, brought to you by
Jiffy Lube's team of technicians are highly trained in oil changes, tire rotations, brakes, radiator services, and more. Visit jiffylubeutah.com for discount services and nearest locations.
Well, we have to get to the big story of the day, of course. Alec Baldwin released from police custody and saying, I didn't punch anyone. Normally, I would not comment on something as egregiously misstated as today's story. However, the assertion that I punched anyone over a parking spot is false. Cops say the 60-year-old actor sucker punched a driver for sliding into a parking space that a Baldwin relative, I'll bet it was Billy, was holding at around 1:30 p.m. on Friday. The 49-year-old victim was hospitalized but escaped serious injury. The bloviator, that's what...
Is that Alec?
That's what Page 6 will call him, was released from custody at around 4 p.m. with a desk appearance ticket for assault and harassment charges. In a second tweet, Baldwin griped about what he said were defaming allegations.
Get away from my wife and the baby with the camera. What language you want that in?
I realize that it's become sport to tag people with as many negative charges and defaming allegations as possible for the purposes of clickbait entertainment. Fortunately, no matter how reverberating the echoes, it doesn't make the statements true.
Sad.
I saw a statement. The guy who he hit finally said he hasn't said anything, but he finally made a comment to the. Right, he hit him. He hit him in the jaw. I sucker punched him in the jaw. The guy said, "I'm going to be okay. I didn't, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but it just kind of knocked his jaw out of.
Big deal out of it.
Knocked his jaw out of. Well, he didn't want to.
If he got hit,
but
he should.
No, but I mean, he didn't want to talk to the news media about it.
He wanted to talk to police.
Yeah,
yeah.
but he didn't want to do it.
Well, he was sent to the hospital.
Yeah.
Something happened to Alec.
Yeah.
You have a temper.
I didn't hit anyone.
He walked into my fist.
I'm going to stand here
I
and do
was
this.
windmilling. I was windmilling.
And if you happen to walk into it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it was very sad news over the weekend. Brent Taylor, the mayor of North Ogden and a major in the Utah National Guard, he went to Afghanistan for his 4th deployment. He told his constituents about it on Facebook in January, leaning into the camera on Facebook to explain that he'd been called to serve his country whenever and however I can, and that he would be gone for about a year as part of a team helping to train an Afghan Army Commando battalion. Service is really what leadership is all about, he told them. He said goodbye to his wife, Jenny, and their 7 kids, turned over his municipal duties to his friend Brent Chugg. You need to keep safe, Mr. Chugg told him. I will, Major Taylor replied, but he didn't make it home. Taylor was killed on Saturday in an insider attack, apparently by one of the people he was there to help. The Pentagon didn't say right away who had been killed, but the news that it was Brent Taylor was soon all over Utah, relayed in expressions of remorse by the governor, the lieutenant governor, civic leaders. In a nation already riven with anxiety over a heated midterm election, a synagogue mass shooting, and high-profile bomb scares, Major Taylor's death and the wounding of another service member in the same attack sent up a fresh wave of grief. 17 years now we've been over there.
And
his
they
death
say
was,
that it's there's no end in sight.
His death was particularly hard here in Utah. He was very well liked and loved in North Ogden, and he was well known. There was a letter sent to his family by a member, Major Abdul Rashman Rahman, a special mission wing pilot in Afghanistan, an Afghan soldier who worked with him, sent a letter to his wife talking about what a wonderful guy he was and how much the Afghan army who was working with, how much they respected him and liked him and really appreciated how much he was doing and the Americans are doing to try and keep the Taliban and those forces that try to keep them at bay so they can have some kind of a stable government there. And yeah, it's just and I don't know what you do. What do you do? The majority of people in that country want the stable government. They don't want the Taliban. They don't want the return to that kind of stuff. They want a stable way to live, and it's awful. Salt Lake County Mayor Ben McAdams' campaign released a statement on Sunday saying, "We did not send out text messages saying that members of the LDS Church would not be excommunicated if they vote for Ben McAdams." That text message was allegedly sent out to cell phones that said the following: "The independent Republicans of Utah want you to know you won't be excommunicated for voting for Democrat Ben McAdams. He's the best Republican in the race."
You got it?
Sue got one.
Sue got one. Well, apparently,
jeez.
Apparently, Mia Love's daughter got one Sunday while she was sitting in church. Her phone went off. She picked it up and she looked at it and went, and then she pumped her fist and said, "Yes, now I can vote for Ben." These texts are not coming from the Ben McAdams for Congress campaign or anyone affiliated with our campaign, said Allison Hayrand, campaign manager or communications director for Ben McAdams. As an active member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mayor McAdams respects the church's long-standing neutrality in political races, and would never imply their involvement in this race. McAdams and Mia Love have gone head-to-head fighting to be elected to Utah's 4th Congressional District. You know that a vote for Mia Love is a vote for Donald Trump.
Sure.
Isn't that's what Donald Trump is going around in all the races?
That's what he's saying.
Around the country. He's saying, a vote for so-and-so, the Republican in this race, is a vote for me.
Yep.
So remember, Utahns, remember, you Republicans who have renounced Donald Trump, and there are many of you here in Utah. Most of the majority of Utahns in Utah now say they do not support Donald Trump and don't care for him. So, but remember, Donald Trump would tell you, a vote for Mia Love is a vote for me. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying
Bill,
to sway
don't tell
your vote.
people how to vote.
I'm not.
Oh.
That's just what Trump would say.
It's information.
Yeah. 2 days before the midterm elections, Democrats now have a 7-point lead over Republicans as voters from both political parties are conveying high-level enthusiasm.
I wouldn't report that.
Don't get happy.
Yeah, that's it, Gina. Tell me not to report what the news is. 50% of likely voters said they would prefer Democrats take control of Congress, while 43% opt for Republicans. Democrats had a 9-point advantage in October's poll. And here's the stories I love. This is the ones I say, it all depends on turnout.
Well, it does.
You know what? It always depends on turnout.
That's what an election is.
If people don't turn out, then...
The polls only mean something if those people that say they're going to vote.
There are polls. They are, you take them for what they are. They're an indication of how things are going. They're not a sure thing, ever. As last election would tell you, they are not a sure thing. So don't take them as a sure thing. They're just information. That's all. And they're out there. There's let's not pretend that they're not out there. They're just information. That's all.
I think that the polls. I don't think they're getting through to a lot of people. I think they're getting through to old people, because these days we know how to block calls and not take them and not answer emails.
Listen,
and things like that.
The minute I get one, if I have, now I usually don't pick up a number that I don't recognize.
Exactly.
Right. But lately, because I've had a lot of calls from doctors and medical things, and there are a lot of, so I start taking calls from numbers that I don't recognize because it might be one of them. And so I've been getting a lot of calls, listen, we just wanted to get a sample from you, about this race, and I hang up on them immediately. I don't take them.
Yeah.
I don't let them.
That's what I mean. I think that they're getting through to old people
that want to talk to somebody.
That want to,
I'm lonely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I think.
There's going to be the March for Our Lives kids are holding a rally at the state capitol tonight. This is March for Our Lives Utah, and this is for get out the young people vote.
Sure.
People who are 18 years old and up. Tonight at the Utah State Capitol, 6 to 7 p.m., this is March for Our Lives Utah. It's a Utah Will Vote rally. It's on the south steps, I believe, of the state capitol at 6 o'clock tonight. Go up there and support that. And if you are 18 years old, vote, please. Mm-hmm. It's time to vote. It's time to start exercising that right. Because look around you. Why would you let all of those old people rule your lives? Throw them out of office. A Goodwill worker collecting clothes and other items at a Texas sorting center was surprised to find an albino python clinging to the side of a clothes bin. The python was huddled in a pile of clothes when the worker discovered it Thursday at a center in Fort Worth. Manager James Murphy said, "It's not clear whether the snake slithered away from its owner and was accidentally dropped off, or if someone was trying to donate the python to Goodwill. The python had a serpentine journey."
Here, maybe a poor person can use this.
Maybe they need this python more than I do. It arrived at one of the nearly 40 Goodwill donation drop-off points in an area being transported to Fort Worth Sorting Center. And another snake story, a massive rattlesnake was spotted on a golf course, and I don't know if we have that video. Oh, no. The video was amazing. The snake was so huge. Did you see that?
No.
Crawling across a green at a golf course in Florida. And Wesley Snipes, when is this guy ever going to get out from underneath?
Never.
This is why you need to pay your taxes when they're due.
He's now been ordered to pay back taxes in the a tune of $9.5 million to the IRS. He's trying hard to convince the Internal Revenue Service that he doesn't have any money. The Hollywood Reporter has said that the IRS originally attempted to collect $23.5 million, to which he responded with an offer in compromise of $850,000. But the IRS has rejected that and saying, we'll let you off if you give us $9.5 million. He says, I don't have it.
I have no money. Where's debtor's prison? Is Wesley Snipes going to debtor's prison?
He refuses to budge from the $850,000. So I don't know. I guess eventually they could put you in jail, couldn't they?
I suppose, but they're not going to get their money if they do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a better chance they let him linger and
make him do another Blade movie.
No,
exactly.
I think the IRS should try to help find him a job.
Well, the IRS should be on the phone with Marvel then and say, let's do a old Blade hands the title to somebody else movie.
And they'll garnish his wages.
We should have Tyler Perry do a Grandpa Blade movie.
Grandpa Blade.
Medea meets Grandpa Blade. All right, that's it.
Weather, traffic.
Let's see. A nice day today, 53, partly cloudy. We shouldn't have any more of the rain happening. Friends of the program saying crash northbound Harrison between 20th Street and 12th Street in Ogden. The right lane is blocked. Accident involving several vehicles southbound 200 north in Kaysville. Pull off to the right shoulder. Thank you, friends of the program, who sent that in via text. I'm sure you were stopped in your car when you sent that text. I'm just sure of it. 33986 at Rocky Mountain Power. Everything they create is to power your greatness. Keep going and know they're here for you. Learn more at poweringgreatness.com.
And sports brought to you by?
Join X96 this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. at Sprint in Layton in honor of Veterans Day. All military veterans, active duty, and reserves get 50% off family lines. Everyone gets a pair of movie tickets to see Fantastic Beasts. Beasts? Let's see.
I love Beats.
Courtesy of Larry H. Miller Megaplex Theaters this Saturday, 2 to 4 Sprint, 852 West Hillfield Road in Layton.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Speaking of things I love, Amy Donaldson, here she is.
Hello.
She writes a sports column and does sports reporting for the Deseret News. You can see all of that at deseretnews.com.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your column about today?
My column will actually run on Tuesday, and it will make you feel better about the elections.
How so?
I'm just going to promise you that.
That's all you're going to say?
That's all I'm going to say.
I'll take it.
Yes.
That's a promise?
No matter what your political affiliation, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I promise. It'll
All
make
right.
you feel better.
All right.
It'll make you feel better about a lot of things, but definitely the election.
I'm ready.
All right. So let's. Should we start right in with the Real Salt Lake?
We can start there.
Because I don't understand.
It's points.
What happens here now?
Oh, okay. So Real Salt Lake, they earned a 1-1 draw in their playoff game last night, and Albert Rusnak scored off of a pass from Damir Krylak to give him the lead. But then 10 minutes later, Nick Raimondo was attempting to clear the ball, and it hit a Kansas City player in the back, and
So
a guy
a
guy who just entered the game literally like a minute earlier. I don't even know if he'd had a touch before that. He kicked it in. So, so that means you get. The way this is, it's kind of the sum total of the goals you score. So if they go there and they have a draw,
they're going to Kansas.
Going to Kansas City, then it'll be a tie, and they may have a shootout. But if they go there in Kansas and they don't, the away goals score, they count more for you than your home goals.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
So even though they tied here, it was better for Kansas City here.
Yeah.
So it would be the same thing there if.
So we've got to do what when in Kansas City?
Get 2 points.
Got to get at least 2
You got to
points.
score 2 goals. Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't get to play with Krylak. He is out because he got a yellow card in the 26th minute for sliding into another player, and it was his second of the playoffs.
Didn't Rusnak get?
Rusnak, is that what I said?
Yeah. No, you said.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You said Krylak.
It was Rusnak.
It's out. It's out.
That's
You're
won't
right.
be
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I don't know what happened.
The bottom line is you needed the guy who's not playing, and he's out. So the guy who's been the biggest
Productive,
offensive
yeah.
spark for you, he's out. So more sad news. Utah lost to Arizona State.
Okay, so can we get that other quarterback back that we let go and said we're good, we don't need you?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't let him go. He left.
He left.
Well, no, I mean we let him out of his.
He said, "See ya."
So
I got better
I'm
prospects.
wondering because he just left school, right? He just left.
Can we get him back?
Remember that Joe Williams kind of left. I don't think he withdrew from school. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know the rules about that, but I'm not sure that there aren't some conversations going, "Hey, can you do your makeup work and
Because
come
he's
back?"
really good.
Well, but so is Jason Shelley, and so is a guy you have not heard of who's a walk-on at Utah named Drew Lisk. Played at made All-State in one season.
So maybe we'll be okay.
I think you're okay.
Okay.
I think Jason Shelley is a lot better than we just haven't seen him. So people are freaking out, and they heard a lot about the Jack Tuttle. I know because I wrote a feature about him too. So
Tyler Huntley's out for the season.
But he's
by
out
the
for the
way.
season, broken collarbone, and bad news because all those games those 40-point games have a lot to do with Tyler Huntley's leadership. So we'll see what happens, but they'll find out quickly. They'll host Oregon this Saturday at 3:30. BYU lost a heartbreaker to Boise State, 21-16. They were at UMass at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and they have to win that, or they're most likely not going to be going to a bowl game. So they got to win 2 games to get to a bowl game. This is their best chance at taking that next step.
And we know the Cougs want to go bowling.
They do.
There you go, Bill. That sounded good. You sounded like a
Look at
sport.
you.
Thank you.
Well, Bill actually knows. So Utah State beat Hawaii 56-17. They will.
They went up in the polls.
Yeah, they will host San Jose State this Saturday too. They climb in the polls to number 14 in AP poll and number 16 in the coaches poll. Utah drops out of both, just in case you were wondering.
This is the highest they've been ranked in 40 years.
Indeed. Look
I
at
thought
you.
Utah was at 24. I thought they were still hanging in by a spot.
Not in the AP
why
poll.
must you bring their
coaches poll?
Why
Is it
must you
coaches?
bring their
Yeah.
pathetic performance back in here and
they're
take the
still-
light away from USU?
Just
We're talking about USU and how they are now
They
ranked.
may be, Gina. When I
think
I
they're
looked
still
at
in the
AP.
coaches
Yeah.
poll.
It says
USU has ranked higher than they have been in 40 years.
I'm not taking that away. I'm just.
Let's go back and dwell on the pathetic performance of the Utes.
How about we talk about that Weber State beat Sacramento State?
Yes.
Yes, and big rivalry this weekend. They play Southern Utah this Saturday at 5.
That's a rivalry?
Yeah, it's in Ogden too.
Okay.
If you want to be there.
All right.
So
It'll be fun to go to that. I haven't been to a game at Wildcat Stadium
and I'm going to go out on a limb and guarantee you will win.
yeah, Thunderbirds aren't
Thunderbirds
doing
aren't
too
that good this year. So, but Weber State is. So, Jazz suffered consecutive losses over the weekend to Memphis at home and then Denver on the road. They also had some scares with injuries. Dante Exum and Donovan Mitchell both left the game with some issues. And Donovan will not play tonight. The Jazz host, stay away from downtown, Carrie.
I will.
The Jazz host the Toronto Raptors tonight, and Mitchell will not be playing. I think Exum is back. He went back for a sore shoulder, and I'm sure they're going to evaluate him and decide. But want to congratulate newly crowned high school volleyball champions in 5A. Skyridge beat Springville for the school's first title in any sport. In 6A, Lone Peak won its third consecutive championship with a victory over Pleasant Grove. High school football semifinals are this week, Thursday and Friday at Rice Eccles. If you want to go watch,
Stay away from Rice Eccles, Carrie.
I will.
That is no joke, especially if you want to not hit pedestrians, because people don't listen. They don't have the traffic control that they have during a U game, so people just wander in crowds and think, "Well, this is safe."
I promise you, I'm not going anywhere.
All right, thanks.
Okay,
thanks,
everyone's
Carrie.
safe to sport their heart to their heart's content. So. Let's see, Davis High alum and BYU professor Jared Ward finishes 6th in the New York Marathon, while Lalisa DeCisa won the race.
Lalisa DeCisa?
Lalisa.
Lalisa.
Close.
Lalisa DeCisa.
Yeah. And he is actually a guy that a lot of people in the U.S. know, because he actually won the Boston Marathon in 2013, the year they had the bombing at the finish line. And when he came back, he presented the city with his medal that he won that year. And so he's very popular among U.S. people. And I should say, in the women's race, that Mary Katani won 2 hours, 22 minutes, 48 seconds.
All right. That is?
Did you want any NFL stuff? Kansas City's on a roll.
Yeah, okay.
Your guy.
And the Saints are, too.
Oh, they are?
And the Patriots.
The Patriots are. That's Kansas City's only loss, the Patriots.
Carrie, you can't stay away. You're the Jazz Bear.
Shut up.
The secret.
I'm staying away. Far away.
I'm nowhere near this.
All right, thank you. Amy Donaldson. Read her stuff in the Deseret News, DeseretNews.com.
Thank you, friends of the program, for sending me traffic. Southbound traffic backed up to 650 North in Clearfield. That's from Cement Dave. Traffic at a crawl, 3 lanes starting southbound I-15, 650 North in Clearfield. That wasn't from Cement Dave. That was from somebody else. Crash northbound Harrison between 20th Street and 12th Street in Ogden. The right lane is blocked there. Crash southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road in Davis County. If you're Cement Dave, you already know that the text line to get me traffic is 33986.
I will also be staying far away from the Weber State game, as it is in Cedar City, not Ogden.
Oh.
So.
And traffic brought to you by Big O Tires. They want you to be prepared with snow tires starting at just $49.95. Big O knows tires can be an unexpected expense. That's why they offer no credit needed financing. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right. Allegedly, Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox is going to be on the show next, so stand by.
You know the powered water of Zero Res? Well, their Zero Res is powering people, too. They work hard to find ways to give back to the community, and they're collecting donations for the Utah Food Bank. So that's a really nice thing.
How does this work?
Well, so you schedule your carpet cleaning or upholstery cleaning or whatever.
Which I need to do today.
Okay, with Zero Res.
Okay.
And you make a donation to the food bank when your technician comes.
Oh, okay.
So, just a few cans of food.
I just give it to him?
Sure.
Okay.
And they'll clean an extra room for free.
Awesome.
No residue carpet cleaning. Your carpets are getting cleaner, and they're doing good for the community. So right now, schedule your cleaning before the end of November. Have a food donation ready for the food bank, and Zero Res will give you a room of carpet clean for free. So 3 rooms for $99, and a 4th room free with your donation. Some restrictions may apply. Call for details. So the number, 801-288-ZERO. That's 288-ZERO or zerores.com.
X96 is the home of the 1-hour nonstop music wingding.
Sentence number 1 in Spanish, please.
¿Qué dijo el pavo de acción de gracias después de la cena? Estoy lleno.
Wow.
¿Qué dijo el pavo de acción de gracias después de la cena? Estoy lleno.
Estoy lleno. Ajá.
Estoy lleno.
Estoy lleno.
Estoy lleno.
¿Qué dijo el pavo de acción de gracias después? Después. Gracias después de la cena estoy lleno. Wow.
Estoy lleno.
Wow. All right.
Okay, that's good, Gino.
All right.
And in English, Mario?
I was talking to someone, And then they said, how come Gina always said just the last words? She never said the whole sentence. Estoy lleno.
How do you say because she's very lazy?
Porque es muy floja.
Muy floja. Muy floja. Go ahead in English, Mario.
Okay. What did the Thanksgiving turkey say after dinner?
I don't know what.
I'm stuffed.
Estoy lleno.
Stuffed.
Estoy lleno.
All right, and sentence number 2 in Spanish, please.
Algo de porra para Brigham Young. Otros para la Universidad de Utah. Yo le voy a las porristas.
Algo de porra para Brigham Young. Otros para la Universidad de Utah. Utah. Yo le voy a las porristas.
Sí.
Algo de porra para Brigham Young, otros para la Universidad de Utah. Yo le voy a las porristas.
¡A las poristas!
And that is in English, Mario?
Some cheer for Brigham Young, others for the University of Utah. I cheer for the cheerleaders.
Yay! The only way to go.
But not when my wife is around.
No.
Yep.
No. Mario, are you going to have a big traditional Thanksgiving dinner?
Yes, sir.
What will you have?
We're going to have turkey. I'm sorry, pavo.
Pavo.
De acción de gracias.
What else will you have?
You know, usually we met at El Farol.
Oh, do you?
We met at El Farol, so we all bring a dish.
Yeah.
So
And have
pavo is going to be there for reals.
So you'll have the turkey at the restaurant and then...
And then some other dishes, salads, and all
What
that.
will your wife bring? Or do you cook?
I don't cook.
Yeah, your wife will cook?
My wife will cook.
And she will bring...
Let me call her.
No,
No, it's all right.
Thanks, Mario.
I don't know what she'll bring.
I'm sure she appreciates the fact that you know what she's bringing.
City, 96.3 FM, or stream us at x96.com and on our app, Utah's original alternative, X96.
If you're worried about controversy, I feel I must remind you that in 1989, I shared a cup of coffee with an HIV-positive individual, and that show won a Peabody Award.
This isn't fighting for social justice. They wouldn't round the corners on this guy's bacon cheeseburger, and he killed 3 redheaded women with a hammer.
4. Phil. 3 were with hammers. 1 was pure strangle.
The hammer was a myth. It was a wrench.
Can you please stop cataloging the nation's homicides in your spare time? It's teaching me how to spreadsheet.
Radio from Hell on Utah's original alternative, X96.
I don't know if people know why this is the theme song for Lieutenant Governor.
It just has become.
Spencer
It has become. In fact, I was starting to get sad that you wouldn't play it. So
it's the theme song to a TV show called Benson from the 80s. And Benson was the lieutenant governor of Georgia, right?
I can't remember.
It was Georgia.
It was Robert Guillaume. That's
yeah,
all
I don't remember the state, but Georgia.
And then
you're going to make me look it up.
And then the governor of that state died, or maybe he went on a walk on the Appalachian Trail, and Robert Guillaume became. Well, Benson started out as the butler or the houseman, and then he became the lieutenant governor, and then he became the governor, as I recall. But anyway. Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor, State of Utah, is here. We're going to not talk politics really at all. We're going to talk about the election and the voting process and all of that, because in the state of Utah, the Lieutenant Governor is in charge of elections.
That's right. We don't have a Secretary of State, so I get to do both.
Yeah, in a lot of states, it's the Secretary of State.
Correct. Yes.
So okay, what do we need to know at this moment about the voting process?
Well, what you need to know is it's here. Tuesday, of course, tomorrow is Election Day, but because we are a mostly vote-by-mail state, if you have not mailed your ballot yet, it has to be postmarked today if you're going to mail it. Now, that doesn't mean you just go put it in the post office box at 8 o'clock tonight. It has to be postmarked. For those that don't know what postmark means, just to make sure you get it in, go inside of the post office and hand it to the employee, and they will stamp it for you and make sure it gets postmarked.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Because I mailed mine in weeks ago.
Yes.
Has that been counted?
It is not. I get this all the time.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
It is a good question.
Do you wait till the last minute?
Yeah, we do. We cannot count them. We can process them. So what you'll see, you can go log on and see if it has been received. It will also say if your ballot has been processed already.
Oh, you can?
You can, yes. You can
at
go.
vote.
You can track it at vote.utah.gov.
Okay.
You can see the status of your ballot, which is nice. But what process means, Carrie, is we have to separate the envelopes. We have to check your signature. Make sure it's valid. That's processing it. And then once it checks out, you're registered, your signature matches, it's good to go. We put it in the pile to be counted. We can start counting those, and by we, I mean the county clerks in their office can start counting those on Election Day.
Okay.
So, but they have to be under lock and key. They have to be sworn to secrecy. They can't release any results, or they can go to jail prior to the close of polling. But we do start counting them on Election Day.
I always wondered.
So you can start counting tomorrow.
We can start counting tomorrow morning.
At whenever the office opens.
When the office opens, they can start processing.
Are those counted by hand, or is there a machine?
There's a machine that counts those. Yeah.
So they can. It reads the little dots.
Scantron type machine that goes through and counts all of them, and then that's why when polls close at about 8:10 or 8:15, we get a big bunch of reporting of what it looks like. So you get a good feel shortly after polls close.
So if I go on there and so I sent mine in a week or two ago,
right?
And I see, wait a minute, it hasn't been received or it hasn't been processed. What do I do?
Then you contact the county clerk's office.
And
that's exactly what you do.
Lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Or
say,
whatever.
hey, what's going on here? And they will tell you if something like that has happened. Come down and vote on Tuesday. We will only count the first one that comes in. So
if it happens to show up,
if it happens to show up and you voted on Election Day, they'll
count one of them.
They'll count the first one and not the second one. That's part of processing the ballot.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, question just popped into my mind. If, for instance, you on the ballot you filled out at home and send in, or if you go to the polling place and vote, Do you have to fill out everything on the ballot? Do you have to vote for everything?
You do not. No. And a lot of people will say, I don't like either of these candidates, or I'm not sure about this, and I don't have enough information, so I'm not going to vote. It will still count everything else. So
my kids were asking that because I was filling out my ballot, and they're like, why aren't you voting for that one? I'm like, because I don't know, so I'm not going to vote for that.
If you're really
one.
not sure about, a lot of people are not sure about the judges and retaining or not retaining. So if you don't feel competent to do that, just don't do it.
That's exactly right. Yep. If you don't feel confident, you want to consciously object to something, don't do it. But everything you fill in will count. The rest of it will not.
I just filled in my tracking my ballot, and you have received my.
That's great to know, Gina.
Look at that.
I'm saying you
it
can.
Works,
it
right?
works. That is why I'm saying it.
What will disqualify your ballot?
Very, very little will disqualify your ballot. Again, if you vote twice you vote for both candidates, that will disqualify that race. But we really do make an effort to try to figure out what it was you wanted to do, what it was you were trying to accomplish. And so if you call me names on your ballot, we still try to figure out what it was you were trying to vote for.
You wrote things on it, or
people we want to count people's ballots as much as we possibly can, and so the machine will reject them if there's some abnormality on there, and that's when we do it by hand. So the county clerk will go on there. They look at it.
Look for hanging chads.
We have rules about how to count ballots, and if it looks like you've tried to erase something and filled something in, they have to make a determination that way.
Do you ever call people and say, would you come in here? What did you mean by what is this?
We don't do that because when it gets to counting, we don't know whose ballot it is at that point, right? We've already separated it, so we never know whose it. That's right. You have a constitutional right under the Utah Constitution to a private ballot. That's why we have the 2 envelopes with the vote by mail. So we have to make sure this is you before we know what's inside the envelope. Then we separate it, and somebody else counts and runs it through the machine.
That's why it's in that little sleeve.
Correct. That's the privacy sleeve.
I wonder.
But if so we got to get it postmarked today. If we don't do that and we go to our polling station tomorrow and we haven't registered, can we register?
We can. For the first time in the history of the state of Utah,
Really? Wow.
You can register tomorrow at the polls. This has never happened. It's a really big deal. We're very excited about it. No one has an excuse. So you can go and register at the poll and cast your vote.
What do you need to take with you?
Yes.
You need to take your ID. If you go to, again, vote.utah.gov, we have a list there and all of the ID requirements. So in Utah, these forms include a currently valid Utah driver's license. That's the easy one. Okay. A current valid ID card issued by the state or a branch, department, or agency of the United States government. Current valid Utah permit to carry a concealed weapon works. A currently valid United States passport or a valid tribal ID card.
You gotta let me vote. I'm packing.
If you don't have either of those, then you can bring 2 forms of other IDs, and there's a whole list of those. But these are like utility bills, birth certificate, valid security, social security card. But you have to bring 2 of those. So go there. You can look at the ID requirements, bring them with you to.
And that means you could sign up right there and vote.
And vote.
Is there any indication? Do you know how many people have already voted?
Correct.
And it's been significant.
Phenomenal. I will tell you right now, we're approaching the number of people that voted in 2014, the last midterm election. We're almost there, and it's not even election day.
Is there any indication by demographics? Are there more young people? Do you know anything about demographics at this point?
We do not at this point. We hope to get that, and I'm worried we won't get that this time around. Now we can break it down. We can see there will be a list of everyone who voted. That is public information, so we can go and do that. Traditionally we've done exit polling, which is a great way to figure out kind of who's voting and what they care about. Because this is vote by mail, we can't do exit polling the way that we've done it before, and unfortunately unfortunately, it costs a lot of money because you have to call people and then ask them who voted and what they voted for and why they voted. So we're trying to get that done. It looks like we may miss out on exit polling.
But you know by name.
But we do know by name.
So then you know how old they are.
And birth dates. And so we can get that. It just takes a couple weeks to get all the information together.
I just one more question before you go.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the Jazz game tonight because we have the injuries we're dealing with?
I am very worried. Donovan's out tonight
I
with an
know.
ankle sprain. We're playing the best team in the East right now. Yeah, I'm a little worried about
Do
the game
you know
tonight.
how many Jazz players vote in Utah?
I don't, but probably not many of them.
Probably they vote in their own.
Yeah, wherever their home residence is.
All right. Well, thanks. It was nice to talk to you about this and not politics.
Thanks, guys. Go out and vote. Please, 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 please vote.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank
Always
you,
nice.
Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox. There we go. Traffic, Gina.
Oh, and by the way, Benson, just some random southern state. They never
never
say
said, huh?
where.
Oh, okay.
We've got a crash southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road in Davis County. And so many of you had questions for Spencer Cox via text. I have no traffic in my text line. So if you see something, please send it to us, 33986. Fink and McGregor, mortgage is made simple. Call Fink and McGregor today for your free mortgage analysis at 264-9494.
Let's see. We've got Boehner's round 1 coming up. Here are the candidates. Boehner candidate number 1. Well, she definitely outranks the commander of cheese. Boehner candidate number 2. Sorry about the stress. And Boehner candidate number 3. I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
Just one?
Well, in this case, pasty is in the British.
Oh,
a treat.
Okay, thank you. All right. We got Boehner's round 1 and your big boy news all coming up. It is the 5th of November. Remember. So that means it's our yearly screening of V for Vendetta. So that means we're going to crawl into my Brooklyn and sheets.
What, by that, Kerry doesn't mean we. He means Sue.
Me and Sue.
And the
Well,
dogs.
it could be
dogs.
we, Bill. If you and I order the sheets, we could
I'm
be
not
part of
gonna
the
crawl
we.
into-
But we'll crawl into our bed and watch V for Vendetta today because our Brooklyn and sheets are buttery smooth. Fastest growing bedding brand in the world. Over 20,000 5-star reviews. They are based out of Brooklyn. That's why Brooklinen, you see. Founded in 2014 by Vicky and Rich. They wanted to be able to find a way to get quality bedwear without the high cost because a lot of times it's marked up incredibly high. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Brooklinen.com giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so sure that you will love your new sheets that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. But the only way to get this $20 off and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. So that's BROOKLINEN.com. And the promo code Jackson, JACKSON. These really are the best sheets ever.
Hey, party people.
I will read it to you.
It looks to be typewritten.
Yes.
Wow.
Typewritten, actual letter dated the 9th of October.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Look
You're
at
a
it.
lucky girl.
Don't you wish you got more letters?
Oh, you bet.
Actual letters?
I sure do. The only thing that could make that
Email
better.
doesn't sound like this.
The only thing that could make that better is if that had been handwritten.
That's true.
Oh, that would have been really special.
Gina, I would ask you to think about a time before cell phones, blogs, Facebooks, and Twittering.
Back a time when people actually wrote letters.
A simpler time. We raised our kids in the physical world.
Yeah.
We threw our money away on frivolously silly things. We pursued tangible hobbies, or at least had fun playing. We traveled where we wanted to, when we wanted to. The world was ours for the taking. And we had meaningful conversations with people who were important to us, either face-to-face or on the telephone.
Is this from your first boyfriend?
No. Those people, if they judged us at all, were polite enough to do so in a way that led to improvement.
Okay.
What has changed? Nothing, of course, but the perception is now that we have to record or display every aspect of our lives and activities and do it as quickly as possible.
Twitter.
Does it really matter if you learn that someone took her kids to the park last Tuesday? No. Are a million meaningless opinions any better than a few well-considered ones? No. Must you change your life to fit into the false standard propagated by people you don't even know?
No.
Of course not. The most dangerous trap to fall into is trying to be someone you're not, for whatever reason. For the love of all things irrational, Gina, just be yourself. It's what makes life worth living.
Stop twittering.
Sincerely, Martin Noonzert. P.S. Your bio on the X96 website is not up to date.
As I like to say, any clod can have the facts, but having an opinion is an art.
I guess I need to update my bio.
You know, you should scan that letter and put it on our website.
Yeah.
I should blog and Twitter about this letter.
Tweet.
A blog and Twitter.
Tweet. I'm sorry.
If you use Twitter, you tweet.
You tweet.
Why can't I Twitter it?
That's something that you should do in the privacy of your own bedroom.
okay.
It's true.
When your husband's out of town.
Some more letters. I want more actual letters sent through the mail.
Well, give your address.
515 South 7th East, Suite 1C, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84102.
If they're handwritten, it's even better. Or even better, if they're words cut out of magazines and pasted onto it. That's great.
Let me just say this to people writing letters to Gina. You may write them. You won't get them. She will.
No.
You're not going to take the time to return them.
No.
Yeah, email's a lot easier to answer. And
Yeah. But go ahead, send her letters. Try not to use words like nonplussed. Okay.
I know nonplussed.
Now you.
Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 7:23. Time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote which of these 3 candidates is the worst. Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, It'll have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. We do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We take the 2 winners, put them into Boehner fight at 9:20 this morning, and that's when Boehner of the day will be decided by you. So pick your champion for round 1. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boehner voters will receive
tickets to the ISU World Cup short track at the Utah Olympic Oval November 9th through the 11th, and we have 2 pairs of tickets for both Saturday and Sunday.
Here's Boehner candidate number 1. Well, she definitely outranks the commander of cheese. Kellyanne Conway has taken numerous jabs at Hillary Clinton, calling her graceless. Isn't she a charmer? There she is at x96.com/live. Calling her graceless, dangerous, and less popular than her husband Bill. But on Sunday, she added a new smear to her list.
New smear.
The Queen of Abortion. In a Fox and Friends interview that morning, Conway, who serves as a counselor to President Donald Trump, bashed Democrats for what she described as their failure to focus on an array of issues rather than just one, taking aim at women's right to choose in particular. I've noticed also that the Democrats aren't talking much about abortion this time, and that's because they tried that for so long, she said. They tried it with the Queen of Abortion in 2016, and it backfired for them. Because so many women said, "Excuse me, you have to talk to me on all the issues." After slipping in that nickname, Conway then asserted that what mattered to suburban women were matters like the booming economy, law and order, and respecting military and veterans for the first time in years. Share Blues Tommy Christopher, noting Conway's swipe at Clinton on Twitter, wondered whether Queen of Abortion outranks the title Commander of Cheese, which is something she actually called Trump on live TV last summer.
Yep.
Unlike that flub, though, Conway obviously meant this one to be as mean as it sounded. Boehner candidate number 1. Well, she definitely outranks the Commander of Cheese.
She learned insults from her boss.
Here's Boehner candidate number 2. Sorry about the stress. Residents clamored on social media in the early morning hours of Saturday, wondering about the cause for helicopters hovering over their homes, rattling windows, and the sounds of serious police response. Later, around 5 a.m., Ogden police posted on Facebook explaining, well, the department was assisting in a planned military training exercise. Joint military and law enforcement training is routinely carried out, according to the Post, to provide soldiers the opportunity to train in realistic environments. There's no denying that it was loud and it was late, the police post said. Some were unsure of what was going on. Some woke up scared and confused, and for that we apologize. We did not utilize social media because a crowd would have meant more people and less safety for everyone involved. Ogden City Council members later clarified in a press release Saturday that Army Special Operations had contacted the city's police looking for a location to hold an exercise. Ogden Police coordinated with Ogden Community and Economic Development to have access to the vacated Rite Aid building on 24th Street in Monroe.
That's right. That's practically
It's right in the heart
downtown.
of the city.
Yeah. At 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Can't you do that like out away?
Well, we got these new
somewhere?
night vision goggles we
And
want to try.
And so with helicopters and flash bombs and
Terrified everybody?
Hello, Ogden, from
Unnecessarily?
the Ogden City Police. Hello, Ogden. We woke you up last night. We sincerely apologize.
Jesus.
Military and law enforcement routinely conduct training like this to increase interoperability and give our soldiers an opportunity to train in the most realistic environments available. All this training is carefully planned and executed to balance realism and safety for everyone involved.
I mean, they do have to
Now,
train.
but they did a reverse 911 call, but not everybody got it. We're sorry, it proved ineffective as a communications tool, and it was primarily the lack of communication that caused your distress and anxiety. As a city council, we're continually looking for ways to improve communication. We have learned from this experience and are committed to working with the administration to develop more effective communications tools, particularly for emergency situations. apparently people were just terrified.
Well, yeah.
Helicopters, bombs going off. And that's a kind of an economically depressed area of Ogden.
Yeah.
Jeez. Boehner candidate number 2. Sorry about the stress. Coming up in a moment, Boehner candidate number 3.
I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
Boehner candidate number 3 for round 1. Coming up after this, Big Boy News, brought to you by.
Winter is coming, and Big O Tires wants you to be prepared with snow tires starting at just $49.95. Big O knows tires can be an unexpected expense. That's why they offer no credit needed financing. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
On Sunday, TMZ caught up with Dan Crenshaw, a Republican candidate for Congress in Texas, who lost an eye in Afghanistan and found himself the butt of a pretty tasteless Saturday Night Live joke. SNL's Pete Davidson made light of Crenshaw's war injury during the most recent live show, saying, "I'm sorry, I know he lost an eye in the war," or whatever. He was talking. He said, "And this guy, he looks like a pirate," or something.
Don't do that. That's
the jab prompted calls for an apology and even a CNN panel slamming the attempt at a joke. But Crenshaw was pretty classy about it. Really, he said, whatever. I don't need an apology. He said, the culture of apology demanding is just not healthy for America. I just want us to get away from that we demand an apology for every time somebody misspeaks. I think that we would be healthy. It'd be healthy for our nation to go in that direction. We don't need to be outwardly outraged. I don't need to demand an apology from them. They can do whatever they want. They're feeling the heat from around the country right now. That's fine. He then stressed that he would like Davidson and SNL to recognize that veterans across the country probably don't feel as though their wounds that they received in battle should be the subject of a bad punchline.
No, it shouldn't.
He said that his attempt at a joke wasn't very funny. It was just kind of mean-spirited. And I watched the whole thing, and he didn't need to put it. He didn't need to do it because the rest of the bit was pretty funny.
Yeah. The beginning of the bit was fine.
It was just kind of gratuitous.
He screwed up the ending with extra commentary that was not necessary.
The whole bit was pretty funny, but that was just kind of gratuitous and didn't need to be there. And so just that's what I'm not a big Davidson fan. Every time I've seen him, occasionally he's funny, but I think that's only because people will give him funny things to say. All in all, he's just pretty useless. 24 hours after North Ogden Mayor Brent Taylor died serving in Afghanistan, the community paid respects to the national hero, and his story was all over the national news, New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, everywhere. Brent, he is a true American hero, and we have lost him, said Toby Molesky, one of Taylor's best friends. Molesky and Taylor worked together in local politics. Molesky previously had served as mayor of Pleasant View, Utah. We became best friends and political allies, he said. Molesky said he admired Taylor's fair approach to political issues. He did the right thing for the right reasons, and I think that's why people liked him so much. He did what he did because he wanted to make sure there were no injustices. He had the ability to bring people together and see both sides and to come to resolutions that were beneficial to everybody, and his community is proof of that right now. Taylor had served in the National Guard for 15 years. He had 4 deployments. He leaves behind a wife and 7 kids, ages 10 months to 13 years old.
Geez.
Wow.
We had a really good time together. He's one person that I will really miss. Loved ones have set up a GoFundMe account for Mr. Taylor's family. Again, his name was Brent Taylor, mayor of North Ogden. He and his wife Jenny had been married for 15 years. I think 5 of that 15 years he had been out of country with the Air National Guard. Days before voters decide a razor-thin contest for one of Utah's U.S. House seats, Republican Mia Love and challenger Ben McAdams hit the streets to bring out every last voter in the race Democrats are targeting as they push for control of the chamber. Love and her team climbed aboard a modified blue and orange motor scooter as they chatted with people mowing lawns and heading to grocery stores. Brandon Evans says he'll vote for her because she supports gun rights. I feel like they're under attack more than ever they have been, said Evans. I don't know why he feels that, but there you go.
Because he's been told to feel that.
Yeah. I'm still the same person I've always been and will continue to be, said Mia Love, assuring him she still has a concealed carry permit. Love has been stressing her independence from President Donald Trump. Yeah. As
not so much.
As she seeks a third term in the conservative state where many voters, including Republicans like Evans, are uncomfortable with the president. The country's first black female Republican in the U.S. House has touted tax cuts as a benefit of a Republican House majority. Those tax cuts, I want Mr. Evans to look at his paycheck and his 401k and see if they've helped him. Republicans in the district outnumber Democrats nearly 3-1 in this race, but they're almost even. The two.
This race should not be that close. The way that this area is gerrymandered, I'm in that area.
Yeah.
The way it's gerrymandered, it should not be close.
So, but there are a lot of independent voters in the district too, and that's who McAdams is going after. So it will be close, and I'm betting that we won't know the outcome of it until long after the polls close.
That's what Spencer Cox said off the air. He says he anticipates that it'll be weeks after Election Day.
Just because it'll be so close.
He thinks it's going to be really close.
He and Ben McAdams are actually really, they've known each other and they've been close friends for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a great article in the Salt Lake Tribune on Sunday. Food perks at your work.
Food perks?
At my work.
Chicken fried steak on the weekly menu at Trebo.
Hold on.
Trebo is the on-site restaurant at O.C. Tanner. They have a restaurant there.
Wow.
And they charge the employees for the food, but really minimal prices.
Wait, what? Is there a job, Richie, that I can remain seated and work at O.C. Tanner?
Sure. The Eggs Benedict are great. In addition to generous health benefits and 401k packages, Utah's top workplaces like O.C. Tanner have learned that food, whether it's on-site cafes, stocked refrigerators, or an occasional free lunch or a treat trolley, can boost employee morale.
Chicken fried steak would do wonders for my morale.
Translated, let the fools have their tartar sauce.
Rhodes Bacon Serve employees of Murray, they get free bread and rolls, as much as they want, but the company also has fruit and vegetable, a nutritionist, and a personal trainer.
All right. Weather, traffic?
I'm just thinking about chicken fried steak now. Weather, nice today. 53, partly cloudy. Shouldn't have any rain. Traffic, friends of the program says, guy in handcuffs, I-215 westbound near 23rd East. No delay, but isn't it fun to see a guy in handcuffs?
No, it's not.
I-15 is backed up past 7th South in Clearfield.
I would argue it depends on who the guy is.
Like if it's the guy you saw drive past you really fast, and then you come up a few minutes later and you see
someone you knew from high school, maybe.
Around 90th South, northbound I-15 Highway Patrol have completely stopped. That comes from a friend of the program. They sent that in via text at 33986. Judge Memorial Catholic High School, a college preparatory school serving grades 9 through 12, is hosting an open house Wednesday, November 7th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. for prospective students and their families. More information online at judgememorial.com.
All right.
All right, here's Boehner candidate number 3, and I want to thank whoever it was in the chat room who reminded me how to pronounce the word.
Mm-hmm. I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
A pasty is what British say if they need a treat, a little pastry. They call it a pasty. A retiree made hundreds of expletive-laden 999 calls, and that here would be 911 calls, demanding pasties and lifts to bingo. Lena Taylor was convicted of making nuisance calls to the emergency services, and she received 2-year conditional discharge. The 90-year-old was back in court last month after having made another 420 calls. But the determined Wallsend Tyneside made her hat trick of appearances in the dock this week following a further 9 abusive phone calls. Here are the kinds of calls Mrs. Taylor has made to the 999 emergency line.
I've done my dinner. I need someone to take me to bingo to keep me calm. Stop effing messing around with me. I'm not going to sit in this house all day.
A few days later, she demanded an ambulance.
I want them here now. Bring me a cup of tea and a pasty. Hurry up, I'm starving.
And yet another call.
My pasty effing fell on the floor, you stupid C. Get the ambulance out here right now.
Holy cow.
But despite her repeated appearances in court, it was revealed that Ms. Taylor has continued to make abusive phone calls in the past few days. The court heard that Ms. Taylor has made 79 calls to emergency services in the past 3 days. Mark Harrison, her defending lawyer, said,
she has this compulsion to ring up the emergency services.
She doesn't wake up in the morning wondering who to abuse next. She just needs something to occupy her time. Boehner candidate number 3.
I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
This just in, a pasty is like a fresh Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
Look up Cornish pasty. They are delightful.
Meat and things.
Yeah,
From
delicious.
sincerely, your friendly neighborhood Scotsman.
Thank you.
I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boehner candidate number 1. She definitely outranks the commander of cheese, Kellyanne Conway calling Hillary Clinton the queen of abortion. Boehner candidate number 2. Sorry about the stress. Ogden police apologizing to residents for a startling late-night training exercise in the middle of town with helicopters and bombs.
At 1 in the morning.
Yeah. And Boehner candidate number 3.
I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
All right. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boehner fight and possibly become Boehner of the day. If it wins here, it has to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. Yes, we do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We take both of those winners and put them into Boehner fight at 9:20 this morning, and that's when you'll decide Boehner of the day. So pick your champion of round 1 right now. 1, 2, or 3. And put that number, the one you think should win, in the message of a text. That's all we need in the message is just that single digit. And then text that to 33986, and the computer counts it right up. Call 877-602-9696 and vote, or go online at x96.com. Look for the box that says Boehner voting November 5 and vote there. You've got 300 seconds. Let's go. This is round 1.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
We found a pair, my wife found a pair, I should say, of clown shoes at the DI. A giant
Sad
pair.
dead clown.
That's immediately what I thought was dead clown.
How else do they end up
I went right to dead
What's
clown.
what's sad about a dead clown? That is a day of celebration.
Depends on where you find him.
Yeah.
If you find him in the forest, that's kind of sad.
It's a gigantic pair. I think they were, I'll take a picture of them and present them next week.
She bought them?
Yeah, for my kid. Giant pair of, they're plastic, but they're meant to be, you can wear them. A giant pair, and I think they're pastel, like baby blue clown shoes.
Is there a law that says clown shoes should always be red?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
They're
It
red.
seems to
The
me they
nose
were-
is red. The shoes are red.
It seems to me they were, yeah.
And was he excited about the clown shoes?
Well, thrilled.
Congressman Bozo would like to put forth the following law, that clown shoes will always be red.
You know, I proposed this many years ago. I think we should have a National Clown Day where everyone in the United States, by law, everyone, by law, is required to wear a clown costume. And I mean everyone, from the president to the members of Congress.
You wouldn't do that.
If it was a law,
you would stay home.
police officer in your home, people could come and knock, authorities would come and knock on your door dressed as clowns, and say,
Clown check.
Are you? Yeah, exactly. Are you in there? If you're not dressed as a clown, you're going to clown jail.
You see, this is why Bill would be an excellent Republican. He fails to see the constitutionality. And that's why...
the Constitution is suspended for one
day.
One day, maybe a week. A week.
What is the purpose of everybody being a clown?
It would humble all of us. It would humble all of us. We would all become clowns.
That's why you won't do it.
I can see, exactly.
I think National Clown Week, and
Really?
everyone has to dress as a clown for an entire week. You'd have to go to old folks' homes and dress the retirees and the shut-ins as clown. Even if it meant just as something as simple as just putting a nose on them.
Question.
Yes.
What about people in comas?
Yes.
Because they need to be humbled. If you've ever met a bunch of people that are up...
surgeons, people performing surgery, and the patients, everyone. And now a surgeon, he couldn't wear the big dumb gloves, but he could maybe have to have a nose on under the mask. All of that.
All right.
I think I'm gonna. You elect me, the mayor of Salt Lake. I'll start it in Salt Lake. It'll be Salt Lake Clown Week, and everyone in Salt Lake will have to dress as a clown.
Now, luckily, I live in unincorporated Salt Lake, so
that's you'll be. But if you come into my city,
all right,
no clowning around.
Oh.
All right.
That's where the term clown fever will come from. People who are sick and won't come in.
Red, Utah's most trusted newsman. Well, it's a title we gave him all by ourselves with no vetting whatsoever. If we say it, it must be true. Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 7:47. Give us a few minutes and we'll give you...
the world.
A major concert announcement. Well, a pretty good one.
It's our concert.
Yeah. We'll tell you about that at 7:50. But first, we need to award round one of your Boehner voting.
And round one of the Boehner voting is brought to you in part by Ramen.
And join the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation for the Fast Action Fun of the ISU World Cup Short Track at Utah Olympic Oval, November 9th through the 11th. Watch the world's top short track speed skating athletes from 30 countries compete and attempt to break world records on the fastest ice on Earth. Kerry Jackson will be broadcasting on Friday from 11 to 1.
Well,
cool.
Make sure you come say, hey.
I want to do that.
And tickets, you can get them at smithtix.com. And
you knew you were doing something.
I wasn't sure, but now I am.
Yep.
That'll be fun. We had Boehner candidate number one. She definitely outranks the commander of cheese. Kellyanne Conway calling Hillary Clinton the queen of abortion. Boehner candidate number 2. Sorry about the stress. Ogden police apologizing to residents for conducting a middle of the night, it's like 1 a.m, military training exercise.
Explosions and helicopters and
right at an abandoned Rite Aid right in the middle of Ogden in the 24th and Monroe.
Sorry.
And Boehner candidate number 3,
I need a ride to bingo and a pasty.
A woman abusing the emergency line system in England and just being a foul-mouthed old crone.
She's lonely.
Let's see. Teresa Tate won the tickets to go out and see the short track stuff. And the winner was Boehner candidate number 2, Ogden City. Sorry about the stress. We're really sorry we did that. We didn't alert. Sorry.
That's your winner. Yeah. Okay. That's the winner of round 1. It now goes to Boehner Fight. It has a chance to become Boehner of the Day. In order to get that, it will have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. That'll happen at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. And then we'll take both winners and throw them into the Boehner Dome for Boehner Fight at 9:20 this morning. That's when Boehner of the Day is decided by you.
So
do we have a timpani or a...
We do.
We're going to do that right now?
We
or
have
it's 7:50.
Is it 7:50 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's 7:49 in 10 seconds.
So just enough time for the timpani and then...
Yeah, just enough time.
This is not a timpani.
Oh,
what is this?
These are flugelhorns or something.
It means we're making an announcement.
Okay, we're making an announcement. All right, now.
It's.
Are we close?
And now
I could shut it off if you want.
Yeah,
But it's almost over.
Close?
And
there we go.
So now?
Now.
Oh. Please announce this at 7:50 a.m. Monday morning.
That's right now.
Now?
Mm-hmm.
The X-96 Nightmare Before Xmas is here again on December 14th at the Complex, featuring Blue October Acoustic. This is an exclusive acoustic event you don't want to miss. Tickets will go on sale this Friday, November 9 at 10 a.m. You may purchase tickets at thecomplexslc.com and all Smith's Tix outlets. Get all the details and more at x96.com. I have nothing further to say on the matter.
Dropping little reels of tape to remind me that I'm alone. Playing movies in my head that make a porno feel like home.
Because, see, they're acoustic.
Burning in my
Gotcha.
People love the Blue October here.
I have nothing further to say.
Okay.
Peace is all I want for you. Will you never call again?
Anyway, you get the idea.
So when I came into work this morning, I had a brief encounter with our friend Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal this morning. I said, good morning, and Nick said, good morning. And then I think he said, how's your weekend? And I said, it was okay. I said, how was yours? And he said, oh, it was great. I went to Logan.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, was that right? And
Yeah.
I said, and then I thought, I didn't have time to talk to him any more than that because I was in a hurry to get in here into the studio. But I thought to myself, well, how could you? I mean, you go to Logan. That doesn't sound like a great weekend to me. But and we never talked to Nick very much on the radio, so I thought, well, I just ask him
on the air.
Yeah,
sure.
so I'd say, so Nick, what was so damn great about going to Logan? Why was it a great weekend?
Well, I heard that you wanted to talk to me about Logan, and most people would insinuate that I went up to Logan to, I don't know, just purely talking hypothetical. Maybe go celebrate several friends' birthdays. It's a college town. Maybe he wanted to drink, but remember, my mom listens to this show. And
did she know you went to Logan?
She has a frail Mormon heart. And I'm not sure she could handle a story like that.
Did she know you were going to Logan?
She did know I was going to Logan. However, she may think I went up to that party, but I have evidence here proving otherwise.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't go up there to drink and carouse.
Of course
with a friend.
not. No.
What did you go there for?
So let's see. I was in Salt Lake at 7:40 of Friday, November 2nd, I want to say.
7:40 p.m.?
7:40 p.m. I have the Google Maps here. It says that it takes me an hour and 20 minutes to get up to Logan.
Okay, so you were up there by 9 o'clock.
8:40. So specifically the LDS Church up there in Logan.
That's how long it takes to get from here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you went from here to the LDS Church in
yes.
Logan?
There was
you went straight to the LDS Church.
I went straight to the LDS Church. There was a
By the
chili
way,
cook-off.
Could we go back? Your mother does not have a frail Mormon heart. She has a frail Latter-day Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints heart.
You are correct in that statement.
So you went to the chili cook-off at the LDS Church.
I did. Where, and if you look at the text message conversation I have here.
He has evidence.
He's got receipts.
Let's see here.
Always have paperwork.
Hey, Nick, thanks again for hanging with us on Friday night at around 9 p.m. in Logan, Utah. Of course, the chili that Brother Samson made was delicious. I had a great
This is
time.
me talking.
This is Nick, and was glad things ended reasonably at 10:30 p.m. and therefore letting me and my girlfriend go to bed in separate rooms at a time that would let me get my full 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
True.
And then your friend responds, "So glad to hear."
Yes, and that was from the Logan Bishopric.
Okay.
Right there.
There's messages from Logan Bishopric.
So we went to bed, separate rooms,
Good.
got up. We were able to go to Angie's, where the locals eat.
Oh, I've eaten at Angie's.
Yes,
That's a good
very
place.
good. There, I met up with several elderly people.
This would be on Saturday morning.
Where I met them there.
Elderly people.
Yes, and I was kind enough to buy them breakfast.
Were these
that
elderly
morning.
people you knew?
I met them there. We met there.
Okay.
Here
There's
is
some more text messages about
text
that.
message conversation
All right,
we had with them.
text messages from the elderly.
All right.
The elderly said, "Hey there, kiddo." This is again for the benefit of your mother, who has a frail Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints heart.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the true story.
So
though.
if your mother's listening, this is the elderly said, "Hey there, kiddo. Thanks again for buying us breakfast at Angie's in Logan at 10:35 a.m. Your good manners and boyish charm is something every mother should be proud of."
It's true.
And you responded to the elderly, "Well, you're very welcome. Our breakfast composed of cottage cheese and assorted fruit was definitely a healthy way to start our day. Glad you could enjoy it with
sounds
I could
delicious.
enjoy it with you."
Yeah.
It was a very good morning.
And the elderly responded, "You are the most amazing young man we've ever met."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Your
impressive.
mother should be proud of
She should be.
And then what happened?
Well, so my girlfriend was hanging out through me with all this, and we were going to make the trek back. But of course, we had to stop by a local gas station to kind of resupply for the long trip.
Sure, yeah.
The long trek, as some might say, back to Salt Lake. And
Stop for
before I left, the Maverick employee sent me this text message.
Maverick.
So you stop.
So
here's a
he
text-
had your number somehow.
Yeah.
Here's a text message from the Maverick employee where you stop for gas. "Hey, Nick, this is the Maverick employee from 1 p.m. on Saturday, November 3rd.
Wow.
Just confirming that you bought the gum and Gatorade for $5.34.
Wow.
Well, yes, I did buy those items, you responded. I know some might think that exact transaction would also be for 2 cups of large coffee and some unhealthy chips. Well, many may think that," the employee responds, "but that was not the case this time."
It's true. And I have my bank statement here proving
All right,
that I did spend $5.34 that Saturday
At Maverick.
in Logan.
Oh, and there's the Angie's restaurant.
All right.
tab as well.
I think everything's in order
Yeah,
here.
It is. It was a very
Sounds
fun, a very
Sounds
informative
like a fun
weekend.
chili and Angie's and
Yeah. Your mother and I are very happy that you weren't up there just partying.
Thanks, guys.
the
Yeah.
Gatorade is a little. You shouldn't be drinking Gatorade.
Well, you gotta,
I'll ask my mom if it's okay.
rebalance your
All
electrolytes.
right, well, Nick, it sounds like you had a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, guys.
I'm glad I asked.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Bravo, Nick. Bravo.
Very nice.
Eastbound I-80 closed at milepost 54. This is in Tooele County, 13 miles east of Knowles. I don't know where that is, but if you're there, you're like, yeah, it's right where I am, and I'm stuck. Crash northbound I-215 at 19th South. Crash northbound I-15 146th South. And crash southbound I-15 Hillfield Road in Davis County. Prohibition every day of the week. Things are roaring good time at Prohibition. Swing dancing, burlesque dancers, and live bands. Come see what everyone's whispering about. Prohibition, located across from Fashion Place Mall in Murray at prohibitionutah.com.
You know, if Nick had tried to drive Sardine Canyon and it was snowing, he should have snow tires from Big O Tires.
Yes, his mother would have peace of mind knowing.
Absolutely. You can get, winter is coming, and Big O Tires wants you and your family and Nick's mother to know that she should be prepared on the wintry roads. So you can get snow tires right now for just $49.95 at Big O Tires. Big O knows that tires can be an unexpected expense, and that's why they offer no credit needed financing. So no matter what your budget, no matter your situation, they have financing tailored for you. Big O has the lowest price on every tire every day. Big O carries all the major brands, Michelin, Goodyear, B.F. Goodrich, Continental, Cooper, and more. And the Big O brand tire, of course, which I like a lot. I have that on all my cars. So get ready for winter with a Winter Healthy Car Special for $49.95. They'll change your tire or your oil and rotate your tires and check the brakes and all that. Big O, 40 locations from Logan, where Nick was, to Richfield. Go to bigotires.com for a location near you.
Radio from Hell has a new podcast.
It's the Radio from Hell.
on X96. Follow us on Twitter at Radio From Hell.
Is this sponsored, Gina?
Yep, Haster Games has the best selection of the latest board games, Magic, the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it. 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
Well, here he is, Bill Frost. He's here to talk about the television and what it does and who it affects.
Specifically your television.
Mine?
You might need to just knock it on the side a little bit.
Okay, is that adjust the rabbit ears, you mean?
Yeah, just the horizontal.
How about the vertical?
Vertical's fine.
We control the horizontal.
Yeah.
We control the vertical.
Kids have no idea what
Nope.
we're talking about.
Bill writes a column on a monthly basis for Slug magazine.
Yeah, there's a brand new one out at slugmag.com. It's about, picked out a few shows to stream about hitmen because it was a good year for hitmen.
Yeah.
Like Barry and Mr. In Between.
Oh, yeah.
Killing Eve, a few others.
Okay.
Yeah. Killing Eve and Barry. I don't know Mr. In Between, but
it was on FX. It was a very short run. Australian import. Very good. Look it up.
I will. But I'll make a note of it, as a matter of fact. But those other two shows, Killing Eve and Barry, they're both coming back, right?
Yes. Both coming back for second seasons next year sometime.
Great shows.
Yeah.
Great shows.
All right.
Bill Frost, TV Tan, and Magda Vega, all at
BillFrost.tv.
Okay.
All right.
And speaking of TV Tan, tomorrow night we're presenting the season finale of Mayans MC down at the Broovies in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Someone will be there.
Now,
You'll be there.
Now, there's a guy from Salt Lake who's in that.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, why don't you get him there?
Well, I'm sure he's busy.
Call him up. Call him up. He might come.
What's on TV this week, Bill?
He got out of Salt Lake for a reason.
Free beer. Get him for free beer.
Also, the season finale of The Purge tomorrow night. I quite like this one, actually.
Really?
I like it better than most of the movies.
It's been good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd recommend checking it out. Now that you can watch it all at once.
All right.
Coming up on Thursday, the Baroness von Sketch show on IFC,
Yay!
season 3.
Very funny.
All-female sketch comedy show.
Very funny stuff.
Very strange, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you see the promos, which are usually designed to, be a little broader.
Yeah.
Even there's like, what? Friday, I think Bill's talked about this one before. Patriot, season 2 on Amazon Prime.
It's the football,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, not football. No, it's a political thriller.
Oh, I forgot about this. Has been a long time
Yes,
since
it
this
has.
has been on.
Yeah, they're doing another season.
Who's in that?
I can't remember. No one who you recognize automatically.
Okay. Doesn't
but
matter. Okay.
It was really good. I have to go back and refresh my memory, though. It's been a long time.
It has those actors that go, I know that guy, but
It's that one guy.
yeah, one guy, yeah. Also, the Duplass brothers' Room 104 anthology series about a hotel room.
I'm surprised that's back. It was kind of disappointing.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the Duplass brothers. They are so hit and miss that it's frightening.
It's the documentary that they produced, The Wild Wild Country. That was really good.
Yeah, but HBO, they have a deal with HBO, so we'll just keep throwing things at the wall.
Yeah.
And, we'll see what sticks.
Oh, it has Kurtwood Smith in it,
Oh,
okay.
Red.
The dad from that 70s show.
Yeah, there's the guy you know.
RoboCop guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's who I know him as.
Yep.
Saturday Night Live, here's a weird combination. Liev Schreiber hosting, and Lil Wayne as your musical guest.
Gina's sure they're going to do a shriek, or I mean a scream.
Some sort of nod to
parody
Scream.
because of Liev Schreiber.
I mean, you get to watch him on Ray Donovan, hear him say maybe 6 words an episode.
Yeah.
Between grunting. So he's going to have to do a lot of speaking.
You'd be nice about Liev Schreiber. He's performing on my birthday for me, especially.
I'm just saying he does it well. The grunting thing.
Yeah.
The grunting thing.
The grunting thing. When you're cleaning up a body.
You got work for me. That's it. That's
it.
Him and he drinks.
Yes.
He should be dead. A lot. He should be dead with the amount that he drinks on that show.
Ray.
All right.
And Sunday, debut of a new series on HBO, Sally Forever. It's about a woman who's in a boring relationship with a dude. And then she meets an exciting other woman, starts up a whirlwind fling with her.
Oh.
Leaves the boring dude.
Oh.
And then soon realize, oh, wait, this woman's a nightmare. And wackiness ensues. It's pretty funny, actually. It's called Sally Forever.
Okay.
British import. And that is the entire
That's
week
the
of
entire
new
week
stuff there, yeah.
Of new stuff.
New stuff, yeah.
Because the rest of the stuff just continues.
The rest of the too many shows are still on.
I think that Chris Pine thing debuts
Not
this
yet.
week.
Yeah,
the
this
9th,
month.
On the 9th.
Is that the 9th?
Yeah, it's on because I wrote
Friday?
it down. Yeah. It goes into theaters and onto Netflix on the 9th.
Too many shows. Chris Pine.
Yeah. It's called...
Get to see the full Pine.
Yes, you do. You get to see the little Pine. It's called The Outlaw King on the 9th.
The Outlaw King.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, all right. Thank you, Bill Frost.
Traffic. We've got trouble in Tooele. A semi-crash is blocking both eastbound lanes I-80. If you're in Wendover, best not to leave until they clear that crash.
That means
'cause
John Smith's going to be late.
Eastbound I-80 is closed. He might be on the other side of this, but
Oh,
he'll
really?
still he will still use it as an excuse to be late, though. Let's see. From Point of the Mountain to Draper is about a 10-minute drive. Draper to Midvale, about 10 minutes. Midvale to Salt Lake, about 9 minutes. Utah Olympic Oval, join the fun and watch the fastest skaters in the world at the ISU World Cup Short Track, November 9th through the 11th. Tickets are on sale at smithtix.com.
Boehner's round 2 coming up. Here are the candidates that you're going to be considering. Boehner candidate number 1. I was sure they'd never catch the flying dog. Boehner candidate number 2. These are the people teaching your children, Idaho. And Boehner candidate number 3. I guess this wasn't the best decision I could have made.
All right. Boner's round 2. Big boy news all coming up after these. Diamonds Direct.
That's a good decision you could make, is going to Diamonds Direct. It is important to remember how Diamonds Direct got started. This whole concept created by diamond wholesalers who, people supplied diamonds. They supplied diamonds to upscale stores, and then they decided, wait a minute.
We can have our own store.
I don't like the way they're marking our diamonds up. Getting these big fat profit margins. So the wholesalers decided to stop selling to the stores and start selling direct to the public.
Hence the name Diamonds Direct.
Absolutely. So Diamonds Direct still has the same values. They get their diamonds direct from the cutters. They still have thin profit margins. They still offer their customers total transparency. And they still are causing big headaches for the ordinary jewelry stores.
That's not our problem.
No, sir, it is not. Everybody who compares their prices, they always end up buying at Diamonds Direct. You get a bigger diamond, better quality, for less money every day, every week, every year. So, an amazing customer service. The holidays are coming. Make plans now to visit Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall.
We want to put $500 in your pocket. Listen.
I was going to mention this article a little bit more.
Oh, okay. This is the Tribune article?
Yeah, this guy calls me. And that's why, I don't know what Richie expected. He calls me. He asks for some quotes. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is see if he got the quotes right.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you always do? If you're being quoted
I don't want
in
to
the
be
paper?
misquoted.
No.
I might come off looking stupid.
I'm just concerned my name's spelled right.
It is. And I was quoted correctly. I don't know about you, because
I
you
don't
haven't
know.
looked yet.
I was rambling. I was doing my dishes when he called, so I had him on my jawbone,
I was
You in the bathroom?
No, I
doing
was
dishes.
I was at Liberty Park, putting my kids on the Ferris wheel and the little all the little death trap rides that are over there at Liberty Park. The little injury-inducing ride. I cut myself on this.
Really?
Allred, in referencing his 5,000th episode on the Radio from Hell program, was quoted as saying, "You little jerk, get on that ride!"
You're bringing the little jerks tonight, right?
But the quote, this dawned on me. This was, I think, one of the more brilliant observations I've ever had. The reporter from the Salt Lake Tribune asked me, so why do you think your show has been on so long? Why has it lasted 5,000 episodes when other morning shows and radio shows have come and gone? Some appear and go quickly, some are there for a while, but they disappear. Why have you guys lasted 5,000 episodes? And I said, well, it seems pretty simple to me. It's because nobody ever fired us. Really? I mean, isn't that he kind of paused and he said, well, I guess that is true, isn't it?
Well, but we were
Doesn't
fired.
mean it's good. We just weren't fired.
We were fired once.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we were fired once.
Yeah.
No, you weren't fired. You could have stayed. You two could have kept doing the show.
No, he was told he would be fired if he didn't sign the contract.
That's what I mean. If you had signed the contract,
I was fired. I was fired because I wanted to be fired. I don't
different.
count. I don't count that as really being fired. I was fired because I really, really wanted to be fired in the long run. I wasn't going to sign.
You could have kept your job if you wanted.
Yeah.
You signed the contract. You keep your job.
I wasn't going to sign a contract with those people, and I said to myself, if they fire me, I'll get unemployment. So yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to be fired.
So you were fired.
Yeah, but nobody's ever really fired.
Like I said,
fired
you
us.
suck. I don't want you to work here anymore. Get out.
Technically, I've been fired. You were never fired.
I've been fired many, many times. Oh, you mean from that
Not
job?
from this show. But not from this show.
From the show. You've never been fired from this show.
Not from this show, no.
No.
Well, that's where it matters.
No. Never been fired from this show. And I was fired kind of by design, so I don't count that.
$8:20 right now. Liquor store open tomorrow? Election day?
Yes.
It is open tomorrow?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, go today just to be sure.
It used to
probably.
be that they closed, but I believe they're open.
Okay, just checking. Time for round 2 of your Boehner voting. 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You'll have to decide which one of these is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boehner fight and possibly become Boehner of the Day. If it wins here, yes, it's the winner of round 2. It's still not Boehner of the Day. It has to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. You missed that. So we'll take both of those winners and put them into Boehner fight at 9:20 this morning. That's when Boehner of the Day will be decided. So pick your champion for round 2 right now. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boehner voters will receive
tickets to see Bassem Youssef. Kingsbury Hall, Tuesday, November 27th. Tickets available at utahpresents.org.
You know, they call him the Jon Stewart of Egypt.
I did know that. I'm going.
Are you?
Yeah.
I have tickets to see that as well. We'll see. All right, here's boner candidate number 1. I was sure they would never catch the flying dog. A Texas woman wearing an oversized dog's head costume robbed a Houston convenience store before leading cops on a vehicle chase that ended with her arrest. There is a picture at x96.com/live of the oversized dog head.
Now that's like a mascot from a sports team.
Yeah,
kind
kind
of
of that kind of a big giant
but
dog head.
it's a pug with its tongue out.
Yeah. According to investigators, Colleen Dickens, a 30-year-old mother of 2, robbed a Stripes store of cigarettes and $10 in cash. She then fled the scene in an automobile, but was quickly apprehended by police officers. After a short chase, Dickens emerged from her car wearing a large dog head. Police seized the furry costume as evidence. Dickens was named in criminal complaints, charging her with robbery and using a motor vehicle to evade arrest detention. By the way, she was also wearing a pair of wings.
A flying pug?
Wow.
Boner candidate number 1. I was sure they would never catch the flying dog. This is boner candidate number 2. These people are teaching your children. Middleton Heights Elementary employees holding a cardboard painted like a brick wall adorned with President Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." Now an Idaho school district is under fire after these teachers, dressed up as Mexican stereotypes, holding the border wall. The since deleted photos posted to Middleton School District's Facebook page show the teachers, the employees, dressed in sombreros and ponchos, wearing fake mustaches, holding maracas.
Pinatas.
A second group smiles as they hold pieces of cardboard painted like a brick wall.
Not one of them thought this was a bad idea. They're all in on it.
The images, according to Beth Almanza, an immigrant rights advocate in Idaho, were heartbreaking. Imagine how some students felt when they walked into their classrooms on Halloween and saw their teachers dressed like this. The district removed the pictures, after parents complained that they were insensitive. As a mother to a minority child, I would be mortified if this were my child's teacher. They should be fired, a parent told the station. The district superintendent, Josh Middleton, said in an apology video on Friday that he was deeply troubled by the decision of staffers to wear costumes that are clearly insensitive and inappropriate. We are better than this, he said. Do I think there was a malicious intent in these poor decisions? No, I don't, but there was certainly poor judgment involved. All 14 people were put on paid leave.
14 of them, and they all thought this
That's
was a
what
good
I'm saying.
idea.
Not one of them said, you know what? We think this is funny, but maybe we shouldn't do this. No, not one of them.
There were 14 of them. Now, there's another little story that goes along with this. Let me find it. The multiple parents of these have signed a petition to get the 14 staff members reinstated.
Why? Because they're better people than...
The petition was created Saturday evening by Jacqueline Meeker and reached over 2,000 signatures. An email with the petition was sent by another Middleton parent, Carmen Ives. As a mother of children at Heights Elementary, we want to desperately save our teachers, staff, and principal. We know the quality of the teachers we have, and we want to keep them. We started this petition late last night. We aren't the only ones who support them. So they say these are good people. We don't think they should be fired. They're good people. So maybe they shouldn't be fired, but there certainly should be.
And already people are making excuses for them. The kids didn't see it. It was at a team building activity after hours.
I don't care.
You know,
well,
don't care.
and I don't care either. But perhaps they shouldn't be fired, but they certainly should be. They certainly should have a little bit of training to figure out what they maybe did.
Not one of them thought maybe this isn't a good idea. Not one of them.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 2. These are people teaching your children, Idaho.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, Boehner candidate number 3. I guess this wasn't the best decision I could have made.
All right, Boehner candidate number 3 for round 2, coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo, brought to you by.
Brought to you by Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Well, Axl Rose is not cool with Donald Trump playing Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses at his West Virginia rally on Friday. He is not cool with that at all.
You don't want to make Axl mad.
Axl clarified that the band's stance on Trump says they have formally requested that the Trump campaign stop using their music, but there's only so much we can do. Unfortunately, the Trump campaign is using loopholes in various venues' blanket performance licenses, which were not intended for such craven political purposes without the songwriter's consent, he wrote. Basically, this means that even if a band requests that Trump doesn't use their work, he can still get away with it if a rally venue does have it licensed. Anybody who sings along enthusiastically at a Trump rally is probably not aware of Axl's politics. He's been openly and staunchly anti-Trump since the president was elected, even declaring in September that, quote, we don't have a president. And during the...
Well, how can he do that? Surely he's losing fans by being outspoken about his politics. He should just not talk about this kind of thing.
And Rihanna is not cool with Donald Trump using her music at rallies.
Why wouldn't he just use Kid Rock and Ted Nugent and call it good? He knows they're okay with it.
And Lee Greenwood.
It's getting tougher for Trump's playlist organizers with the likes of Pharrell Williams and Axl.
Kanye? He could play Kanye?
Now Rihanna.
Oh.
Now Rihanna has, Kanye said he's off politics now. He's back on the meds and off the politics.
And he said that he was tricked, is what he's saying. Yeah.
Rihanna has caught wind of her songs being played at presidential politic events, and she too wants no involvement. Rihanna was found out from the Washington Post White House bureau chief Philip Rucker, Tattletale Rucker they call him, Tattletale Rucker, who tweeted about hearing the artist's track "Don't Stop the Music" blared at a Trump rally in Chattanooga. But as Rihanna declared in a tweet, she or her representatives wouldn't ever attend those tragic rallies. It looks like Riri is next. Riri, I mean, is next to hit Trump with cease and desist. But they don't mean anything.
No. Get in line behind the hundreds of other lawsuits that.
So David Stockman warns a 40% stock market plunge is closing in on Wall Street. Now, he's probably right. However, David Stockman was Ronald Reagan's budget advisor, and he admitted that he lied about that whole trickle-down economics thing. So I don't know. Stockman served as Reagan's Office of Management and Budget Director. He's long warned of a deep downturn that would shake Wall Street's most bullish investors. He believes the early rumblings of that epic downturn is here. It comes as the S&P 500 index tries to rebound from its worst month since 2011. No one has outlawed recessions. We're within a year or two of one, he said.
This is why my husband is leery of a blue wave. He says let the Republicans take the heat for this because they caused it.
He added that fair value of the S&P going into the next recession is well below 2,000, 1,500, way below where we are today. That's far from the first time he's issued this dire warning. Yeah, there are a lot of people saying that, not just Gina's husband and David Stockman. Former President Barack Obama on Sunday mocked his successor's efforts to fearmonger over the so-called caravan of migrants coming to the United States. This is pretty unprecedented for a former president to get out there on the campaign trail like this, warning supporters that such tactics are designed to distract from larger Republican goals, including scaling back health care access and implementing tax cuts for the rich. Quote, Now, 2 weeks before the election, they were telling us that the single most grave threat to America is a bunch of poor, impoverished, broke, hungry refugees 1,000 miles away. Look, the caravan, they're giving tax cuts to their billionaire friends, but there's a caravan. The former president compared Republicans' recent anti-immigration rhetoric to the party's past hand-wringing over the 2014 Ebola outbreak, to Hillary Clinton's emails. He said they just want you to not look at the fact that they're trying to gut health care more and more. And Grand County in Utah, Moab area, Grand County Sheriff's deputies said that they had no other choice but to shoot and kill a water buffalo running loose on a road south of Moab Saturday night. The sheriff's office said they had a lack of tranquilizing materials, they had logistics problems, and there was a need for public safety in their decision to shoot the animal, which was done with the owner's consent. The animal was loose near the intersection of Spanish Valley Drive and Beeman Road. They had to fire several shots to, as they put it, displace the animal.
I didn't know we had water buffalo there. That's
They're native. They're native to Moab, the water buffalo.
That's what I took from there.
Yeah, native.
Seems to me like you wouldn't have to shoot it.
And a pack llama that escaped from a guided hike in southern Yellowstone National Park. You didn't know they were native to Yellowstone, did you?
No idea.
No idea. Was rescued by a Montana outfitter last week, just days before the park's entrances were closed for winter preparations. I just had to help him, Susie Holsemeyer said. He was abandoned.
Oh.
She saved the llama.
Did she put him on her shoulders? And
I don't know. Did the fireman carry? And they finally caught that lion, the man-eating tiger.
Oh, the tiger.
The man-eating tigress that had terrorized the jungles of central India for 2 years has been shot and killed.
Phew, I'm relieved.
But not without putting up a fight. It's a sad sight to see the picture of that animal
killed
on
like
the
a
table.
dozen people, though.
A forest ranger on Friday. Well, they shouldn't have been. Listen, if you don't want to be killed by this tiger, don't go where the tiger lives. A forest ranger on Friday fired a tranquilizing dart into the side of the 6-year-old big cat, believed to have killed 13 villagers. But she charged at his open-air patrol vehicle, and a hunter shot her with a single fatal bullet to the belly. The hunter said he fired out of self-defense. The female tiger, the subject of a massive hunt involving sharpshooters and heat-seeking drone, was lured out with the help of the perfume Obsession for Men, a Calvin Klein cologne, which has a pheromone from the nocturnal civet cat that attracts big cats, the New York Times reported. The cologne was tested with success on jaguars at the Bronx Zoo. Man, they like it.
How can you tell?
Oh, you can tell.
Oh, you can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell. Look what they're doing now. Woo-hoo.
Sports, weather, traffic.
Oh, we got a text from somebody that said, yeah, the Utes lost and dropped in the polls. Well, yeah, well, BYU lost and they're not in the polls. So does that make you feel
Same
better?
to you, but more of it, says Gina.
Let's see. Real, they tied, sort of. I'm going to look at it like a tie, even though it doesn't really count as a tie. But they go back to play Sporting KC. And I believe that's on Sunday, so they get a week of rest for that. Tonight, the Jazz are home to the Toronto Raptors. That game is at 7 o'clock tonight. Weather, partly cloudy, 53 for a high. No more rain. We should be done with that. Just a nice fall day for you. Traffic, we've got a crash northbound I-15 at 146th South. Crash southbound I-15, milepost 330. That's Layton Parkway in Davis County. Crash southbound I-15 at Geneva Road in Orem. Right shoulder affected there. Another crash northbound I-15, 114th South. Northbound I-215, 19th South. And eastbound I-80, I believe it is still closed due to that semi-accident. This is 13 miles east of Knowles in Tooele County. That's traffic.
All right. Here's Boehner candidate number 3. I guess this wasn't the best decision I could have made. A county prosecutor in South Carolina who had received death threats signed a gun out of the sheriff's evidence room, only to have the gun stolen a month later. Though the events happened in 2013, The gun was never recovered, and Walt Wilkins, a 13th Judicial Circuit Court solicitor for Greenville and Pickens counties in South Carolina, is now facing the repercussions in his bid for re-election. I was very concerned about my ability to successfully prosecute that case, said Lisa Parrish, a former assistant solicitor assigned the case while working for Wilkins. The gun in question, again, if I recall, was an essential piece of probable cause for the officers to get inside the car and search it. Searching out evidence in a pending case can be problematic because it affects the chain of custody in a case, according to Wilkins' political adversaries. Wilkins, who didn't want to buy a gun because of the expense and what he considered a temporary need for it, said he consulted with the Greenville County Sheriff at the time. The prosecutor declined an offer to assign a deputy to him for protection. After he shared specifics about threats, Loftus told Wilkins, "Why don't you just borrow a gun from the evidence room to protect yourself?"
Borrow a gun from the evidence room?
And he borrowed a gun from the evidence room, which is which
Can't do that.
Well, he did, and it was needed in this case, and now it's been stolen or misplaced, and he's running for election, and now it's been brought up by his opponent.
Can I take some drugs while I'm in here? Can I borrow some? There's a stack of cash in here. Can I borrow that?
And you'll probably still win.
Well, he's a Republican, but his opponent is saying, really? You're going to vote for this guy because he was too cheap to either buy his own gun or hire protection? Boehner candidate number 3. Well, I guess this wasn't the best decision I could have made.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boehner candidate number 1, remember, it was, "I was sure they'd never catch the flying dog." A Texas woman who wore an oversized dog head and wings robbed a convenience store. She was easily captured. Boehner candidate number 2, "These are the people teaching your children, Idaho." Teachers and staff members actually thought that making a border wall out of cardboard and wearing costumes to make them look like Mexicans and then standing holding the border wall, and it said, "Make America Great Again" on the wall, they thought this was a good idea. And Boehner candidate number 3, "Well, I guess this wasn't the best decision I could have made."
All right, you've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boehner fight and possibly become Boehner of the day. If it wins here, it's just the winner of round 2. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We'll throw them both into the Boehner Dome at 9:20 this morning for Boehner fight. That's when you'll decide who is Boehner of the day. 1, 2, or 3. Pick your champion for round 2 right now. Put that number in the message of a text. That's the only thing we need in the message of the text is that single digit, 1, 2, or 3. Then the computer counts it up. Text it to 33986. Call 877-602-9696 or go online to x96.com and look for the box that says Boehner Voting November 5 and vote there. You've got 300 seconds. Let's go. This is round 2.
The music starts when Radio from Hell ends. A 1-hour non-stop music wingding starts at 10 a.m.
The best news that I received in New York, well, the best thing that I learned, okay, is that I never have to go on a cruise again.
Good news, everyone.
That's good.
Oh, I
Good
know why.
news, everyone.
I know why. Yeah.
Why?
We went out to Liberty Island, and this is the second time now that Sue has gotten seasick.
You go on a ferry out there.
Yeah. One time before is we took a cruise around the bay up in Seattle. She was just completely messed up the rest of that trip. And this time, it was our last day in New York. We went out, and she got seasick and was just miserable the rest of the day. So that is some great news. I never will have to go on a cruise. I've been on one. I'm not a cruise guy.
Yeah.
You know, you're
no matter
either
how old you get,
you are a cruise person or you're not a cruise person, and that's all there is to it.
I've never been on a cruise, but I'm worried I would get on a cruise and discover that I am not a cruise
My wife
person.
got quite seasick on a cruise. I think I would enjoy a cruise if it were the right one.
Well, now, see, that's the thing, is that a friend of mine, my friend next door, neighbor, Buckley, he came over and he said, there's this cruise that we go on every year in October that I think you'd have a lot of fun, and you and Sue should come with us. It's a Halloween cruise to Mexico, and people just get rip-roaring drunk, and they're running around in costumes. And I said, well, two things. I don't think so, because that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
I'm trapped on a
That doesn't
boat
really.
with a bunch of lunkheads.
But there's booze.
And second of all...
That doesn't make everything better.
Yeah, believe it or not.
No.
Believe it or not. Because, there are just some people who drink I don't like to be around.
Yeah.
And I'll bet they're the same kind of people who like to dress up in Halloween costumes, I mean, imagine being locked in Port of Call on Halloween for 3 days.
Say no more.
See, the worst kind of cruise are those. I mean, do you want to go on a booze cruise? You don't.
You don't.
I'm telling you,
It sounds
you don't.
like a good idea.
You just don't want to. Those things that they label as booze cruises.
Didn't you guys go on one in Mexico?
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
We went in Hawaii.
And it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. But there's these small cruise companies that are real high end that I think it'd be kind of. Or I'd like to do. There are river cruises where they do cruise adventures on the great rivers of Europe and things like that. I think that'd be.
Now that'd be okay.
A cruise of the Rhine on a boat with maybe it's like 100 other people or something like that, with high-end gourmet meals, but they're expensive.
But I have been spared the hardship that is the cruise. Yeah. So thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue, for being seasick, for being a landlubber. Thank you.
She doesn't have sea legs?
No sea legs.
With Gina Barberi on X96 Radio from Hell.
All right, 8:45. Time to award round 2 of your boners.
And round 2 is brought to you in part by oatmeal with
Really?
raisins and brown sugar.
For dinner?
Oh, I had it for breakfast.
Oh.
All I had for dinner was ramen. So.
And dubbed the Jon Stewart of the Arab world, cardiothoracic surgeon Bassem Youssef created the first political satire show in the Middle East. One night only, November 27th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
I'm going to find out if he still lives in Egypt.
No, he lives
does he?
He lives in the United States.
He's just not welcome there anymore.
I don't
right?
believe so.
Yeah. So we had Boehner candidate number 1. Well, I was sure they would never catch the flying dog. It's a woman who wore an oversized dog head, and then she had on a pair of wings, and she robbed a convenience store. They got her. I'm sure they'd never catch her. Boehner candidate number 2. These are the people teaching your children, Idaho. Teachers actually, and some staff members thought this would be a great idea. Apparently, they made for Halloween. They made a border wall and out of cardboard boxes, and they put "Make America Great Again" on it, and then they dressed up like Mexicans. See, and they stood behind the wall, and yeah. And then Boehner candidate number 3. I guess this wasn't the best decision I could have made. A prosecutor worried about his safety borrowed a gun, which was a piece of evidence in an open case, from an evidence room to protect himself, and then it was stolen. And now he's in trouble for that. Andy won tickets to see Bassem Youssef, and the winner of the Boehner voting, number 2. These are the people teaching your children, Idaho.
Yep. There you go. Oh, wrong one. There we go. That is your winner of round 2. It now has a chance to become Boehner of the Day. We'll send it and the winner of round 1 to Boehner Fight at 9:20 this morning, and that's when you'll decide Boehner of the Day.
Now, Carrie, before you asked, let me just tell you that Dave over at Cabin Fever will be sponsoring Geek News on the radio.
I never take it for granted.
Just before you ask,
all right.
Right, Gina?
Well, they've been serving the Wasatch Front for over 35 years.
I thought maybe this would be the day that she'd say no. But
They want to take a moment, this giving thanks, to say thank you for your continued support. Located in Trolley Square, the corner of 5th South, 7th East, it's Cabin Fever. So much more than a geek store.
So much.
All right. Brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available right now. The name of the episode is Razor Bran.
I love that stuff.
Delicious cereal. Now, I'm warning you. The last story I'm going to read to you is a major spoiler.
Oh, I'm glad you did the
All right.
warning early.
I'm warning you now.
Okay.
And I'm going to warn you again.
Okay.
It's if you have not watched Walking Dead from last night.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
That's the last story I'm going to read to you.
Okay.
You have been warned. All right. This Marvel and Disney app, well, it's going to be a Disney app. Their streaming service. Everybody's got to be their own Netflix these days.
Yeah.
And Disney is prepping to get it ready for the coming year. And one of the things that people have asked is, well, since you own Marvel, are you going to give us Marvel content on this? Well, yes, of course.
You would think, yeah.
All the movies, you're going to movies on there. It's all going to be good. Well, what about original content? Yeah, we'll have some cartoons and stuff in there. Well, what about live action TV shows? Yes, we're going to do live action TV shows, and they've been very tight-lipped about what they're looking at. That's because I think they're not quite sure. But they have now approached Malcolm Spellman, and they said he's worked on Empire and Our Family Wedding and other shows, and they said to him, here's a couple of characters, see what you can do with it.
Okay.
We liked it when the Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of mixed it up in Civil War.
Yeah.
They were a nice little couple, you know. Maybe there's something there for you. So he is exploring a series possibly starring those two, which I think would be fun.
Now, starring those characters, or like with the act like Sebastian Stan?
I'm sure they would
Okay.
approach them. I'm
Good.
sure they'd approach them to do it. Now, keep in mind, these are shows that are being made by Marvel Studios, and Kevin Feige is involved. It's nothing to do with the Netflix Marvel shows, Daredevil and all those. So it's a completely different thing altogether. And they're going to spend a lot of money on them, too. That's the other thing that'll make them different from the Netflix shows. If you are a video game fan, you know Halo.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making a live-action series for Showtime of Halo. And that's been in the works for a while, and they've been wondering what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, yes, in fact, the live-action show will star the main character of the game, whose name is Master Chief John. We've never really seen his face, though. That's the other
back
thing.
of his head?
You've seen, well, he's always had his helmet on. You know,
Yeah.
you've never really seen his face. And so they're going to explore that character. and they're going to have to cast him. That means he's going to have a face. Also, you're going to get familiar people. Master Chief, also known as Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, John 117. That's his full name. So they're going to have to cast that. Other characters poised to be featured in the series are Dr. Halsey, likely the Dr. Catherine Halsey, who appears in the 2010 Halo Reach and 2012's Halo 4. Oh, and she was also in Halo 5. And Jenny, listed as a character that's an Asian woman between the ages of 18 and 20. There is no major character by the name of Jenny in the games. But these are some of the characters that will be on the Halo TV series. If you're a fan of that, you'll be curious about that. All right, Birds of Prey is a DC movie that's being prepped right now. They're calling it Birds of Prey right now. That's the working title. That could change.
Okay.
They're calling it Birds of Prey because that's the comic book that these three characters are featured in. Harley Quinn.
Right.
And that's, of course, Margot Robbie. The Huntress will be played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay.
And Black Canary is being played by Journey Smollett Bell. And Rosie Perez is playing Renee Montoya. And it's directed by Kathy Yan. Well, they now have their villain, Ewan McGregor.
Is he a cat?
Why would he be a cat?
Because they're birds. They're the mortal enemy of the... No?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, Gina. I like that. No, he will be playing a character called the Black Mask, who is a Batman villain. He's a crime lord. And I didn't know much about him, so I did a little research. He first appeared in 1985 in Batman number 386. And so he's like a criminal underworld type villain. He sort of a reverse Bruce Wayne in that he was born to a wealthy family where Bruce Wayne's parents were killed by somebody. This guy killed his parents to get the money.
That's a really bad guy.
That's a really bad guy. His character's name is Roman Sionis. He gets the money, loses it all, blames Bruce Wayne for some reason, blames Batman. Broke, ashamed, and surviving a near-death experience when he is struck by a bolt of lightning while visiting his family's crypt. He became a man obsessed with disguises, forming an organization of criminals in various forms of disguise called the False Face Society, all while carrying out a number of assassinations under the guise of Black Mask, a name he derived from the mask he had made out of pieces of his father's own burial casket.
Jeez.
Struck by lightning, casket face.
Poor guy. I mean, no.
Ewan McGregor. Okay. Now, I warned you.
So he's not a cat?
He's not a cat. Although I'm liking this idea. I'm rolling it around.
Okay.
A lot is coming up.
Okay.
Now, I warned you. If you did not watch Walking Dead last night, this is the spoiler. This is where you eject right now.
Yep.
Step away, come back in about 3 or 4 minutes, okay?
So I don't watch the show anymore, so I didn't care.
Now, the promos have been saying Rick Grimes' last episode.
Yeah.
That's all they've been saying.
Yeah.
They never said they'd kill him.
No, they didn't. They
Well,
didn't.
They
but
never said they'd
but
kill
this
him.
This is as
What did they think was going to
as-
happen? He was just
as-
going to walk away?
As Slate put it, this is kind of a bait and switch.
But they never said they'd kill him. What happened was at the end of the episode, and I'm not going to explain why, Rick is unconscious and put aboard a mysterious helicopter and is flown away. Now, the reason they did that is because they like Andrew Lincoln. He just didn't want to do the series anymore. They said, Andrew, we're going to make a couple of feature-length films. How about the Rick Grimes continuing adventures in the movies?
But you don't have to do the TV show
You don't
anymore.
have to do the TV show anymore.
All right.
Great, I'll do movies.
That's all right.
Sure.
I'll do that.
So they've got at least 2 planned.
Two Rick Grimes Walking Dead.
Rick Grimes
movies.
Walking Dead's movies. And I tell you this story here because it's everywhere. It's all over the news. You're gonna see.
Probably have seen it.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I mean, I am not that far along in it, but
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to avoid.
Yeah. in our business
Yeah.
especially.
He's all right.
But there you go. So that's what you're going to be getting, and that's why he left the show. All right. Good enough.
Yeah.
Traffic. We have a crash northbound I-15, 146th South. Crash southbound I-15. This is Layton Parkway, milepost 330. Crash southbound I-15, Geneva Road in Orem. Crash northbound I-15, 114th South. Crash northbound I-215 at 19th South. And a crash northbound I-15 at 146 South in Salt Lake. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right, Boehner of the day coming up. Stand by for that. Got to tell you about hoops.
You know, LASIK, maybe you've been told you weren't the ideal candidate for LASIK. You've been told you had astigmatism in addition to being nearsighted and your options were limited. Well, think again. Hoops Vision always in the forefront, you know.
Oh, the tech is always evolving.
So they are now among only 10 in the nation to offer Visian Toric ICL.
That's pretty cool.
This is a contact lens that addresses nearsightedness and astigmatism at the same time. Might be your solution if you've not been able to have it in the past. So if you're tired of wearing glasses or contacts, there is hope. Call Hoops Vision today. See if the new Visian Toric implantable contact. It's an implantable contact lens.
It's really cool.
Just call 877-30-LASIK or visit online hoopsvision, HOOPES vision.com. Remember, you can use your FSA or HSA dollars to help pay for it. 877-30-LASIK, hoopsvision.com for details. 877-30-LASIK, hoopsvision.com.
We're giving away an iPad every weekday in the Mac Warehouse Apple Harvest, and you get an iPad.
Well, it is time for the kiss. Now, did we get enough kiss money?
Yes.
In the short amount of time.
He's lying. Yes, we did.
How much did we get?
We got well, we had the $1,800 that was dropped off here. And then on the phones we had about $455.
Okay.
We said $2,000. That's $2,255.
And that was in a 10-minute time frame, really.
Richie has always wanted to kiss Gina.
So badly.
Always wanted to.
No. Oh, Craig's reaching into his wallet. I was hoping you would stop it.
And we need.
Here's Craig's going to give $2,000 to stop it.
And we need video of this.
Oh.
We need evidence. People will want to see this on our website. All right, have you got it, Dylan? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Richie, why don't you?
Is there an embrace involved in this, or just?
No, what?
Well, there was over 2,000.
Okay.
I don't know. Craig,
He's taking his teeth out. Watch,
we'll let
see?
Craig decide. Is an embrace okay?
Yeah.
During the kiss? Because this is the guy who signs the check.
I'm doing this willingly, so I don't think it's sexual harassment.
So now I'm gonna.
Wow.
Do we need to pull him off?
Take the microphone up with you.
She's so creeped out she can't. She is so creeped out.
It's
she
for
can't
the
stand it.
homeless and to defeat FM 100. Oh, excuse me. It's
Yes.
to defeat FM 100 and for the homeless.
All right.
Yeah, you're going to want the microphone close for the noises.
Smacking noise.
You're not going to be any noise. Oh, quit licking your lips.
Okay. Here we go.
Put your teeth in, Richie.
No, I said I would do it with the teeth out. Now, who's counting?
We all will. 1,001, like that, okay?
Yeah, we'll do
Ready?
it. Okay. Ready, set, go. They're not doing it yet.
So weird.
Okay.
This is really weird. I didn't think it was going to be. Okay.
Let's go. Let's see. Okay. 1,001. 1,000. Wait a minute, I lost count. 1,
3.
Yay!
For the homeless. Yay! It's for the homeless.
Yeah, we should have had mistletoe. Was it a big disappointment, Richie?
Richie,
No.
was it worth it?
No,
Was it
but
everything you
but Gina wants more.
Was it everything you hoped?
That was more than 3 seconds.
That was. She kissed back, guys.
Did she?
Did she?
She kissed back.
Yeah, was it better for me or was it better for you, Gina?
It sounds like it was better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig, Craig Hansen, the president of our company, now wants to see me in his office later this afternoon.
Oh,
Again?
Maybe he's
Another
got
2,000.
Maybe he's got 2,000 he wants to spend. Yeah.
Well,
He saw what a good kisser you were. He wants lessons.
I'm glad. Did you just wipe my kiss off?
That was really weird. I didn't think it was going to be that weird until you were right
Okay,
in my
so,
face.
So this is my question. You're constantly flirting with Gina.
Soft lips. Is that your question?
No, I'm just wondering if this has changed your desires or
Yeah,
intensified them.
We're done.
We're done? That's it?
We fulfilled it. Well, what else are we going to do, Gina?
There's nowhere to go from
Yeah.
here.
You know, all I know is that I have a really sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that I didn't have about 5 minutes ago. So
It's done.
That was good. Did it for charity.
We
Did
did
it.
it.
08, and that's because...
On this day,
What?
32 years ago,
Wow.
Bizarre Love Triangle released.
Really?
New Order.
That's Peter? Is Peter Hook?
Mhm.
Yeah. Hooky. One quick thing before we go on here.
Mm-hmm.
The X96 Nightmare Before Xmas show is on December 14th at the Complex, featuring Blue October Acoustic. It's an exclusive acoustic event. You don't want to miss it. Tickets will be on sale Friday, November 9th at 10 a.m. Purchase tickets at thecomplexslc.com and all Smith Tix outlets. Get all the details and more at x96.com. Now, when we announced this earlier on the show, people somehow interpreted that I wasn't very excited about that. Well, I'm plenty excited about it. They interpreted it because I said, that's all. I have nothing further to say about it. That's because we don't have any more information than that. That's it. That's the announcement.
That's all you meant by that.
That's all I meant by that was that's all the information there is. Go buy your tickets. It's Blue October. And that's all you need to know.
Sure. Date, where you can get tickets.
December 14th, Complex, Blue October Acoustic, tickets, thecomplexslc.com, all Smith Tix outlets this Friday, 10 a.m. That's all you need to know. And you love Blue October and you'll go.
I think we should save this now.
Well, I was going to say, we don't
have
really
time
have time now for
this. We'll save it for after we
when I get
award the...
back?
No,
for
after we
9:30.
award-
For
After we
9:30.
award the
Yeah.
Boehner.
or maybe 9:45. We'll see.
Coming up.
Because Paulette's coming in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Is she bringing a cake? I'd
No.
pay her $1,000 if she brought one of those cakes.
No.
Well, it'll be nice to see her anyway. Okay, well, coming up.
We'll get it.
Dylan stood me up.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
All right. Let's see. So Blue October, we got that taken care of. Okay, good. So coming up, we do have Boehner Fight for you. Stand by for that.
You know, there's
And before that, a reasonable amount of news.
really not much to a Baby Ruth, is there?
It's what? Nougat, peanuts,
There's nuts.
chocolate.
There's nut dust.
And caramel, right? So
Yeah,
caramel
a
in
little
there
bit of
too?
caramel. But it's
So caramel, nougat, nuts.
nut dust.
Chocolate.
There's nut dust in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Why did you...
Well, I don't know.
A Snickers is better.
It's leftover candy?
Yeah.
Is that what the deal is?
Yeah.
I used to like a Baby Ruth.
No.
I like a salted nut roll.
There you go.
Baby Ruth would almost be the last thing I would pick.
What's the difference between a salted nut roll and a payday?
Not much.
Not much. Payday's good too, though.
I want graham crackers and milk.
You're not getting it.
Apparently not.
Nope. All right.
Wait till I go home.
So we got all that stuff coming up. Stand by for that. Grove.co. If you are picky about what you use in your home,
I am.
Grove believes a healthy, beautiful home should be accessible to everyone. That's why they make it easy to get all the products that you can feel great about using around your home and family in one place. The best place for your healthy home and personal care products, all in one online store. And I'm currently using. I've fallen in love with this. I think it's Mrs. Meyer's hand soap in my bathroom.
With the lemon verbena, that's the one I like.
No, this one's olive oil. And so, it smells great. But I quite like that one. They have brands like Mrs. Meyer's, Method, 7th Generation, Burt's Bees, and then they also have their own products as well. And they select only the best non-toxic products. So it's good for you, good for your family, good for the planet. You are in control with customizable auto shipments delivered right to your door. You can find out how committed Grove is to its customers with a 100% happiness guarantee and free shipping. It's so easy to discover amazing and affordable natural home and personal care products with the confidence of supporting a safer environment for your family. Right now, our listeners can try Grove with a 2-month VIP membership and bonus gift by going to grove.co/X96. Now, you got to remember to do that /X96, 1, so that you get the deal, and 2, we get credit. So that's grove.co/X96, not grove.com. Grove makes it easy to have a happy, healthy home.
Here at X96. part of the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right. 9:20 right now. We'll get to Boehner of the day in just a bit. Boehner fight coming up in about 6 minutes. First, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by...
Dubbed the Jon Stewart of the Arab world, cardiothoracic surgeon Bassem Youssef created the first political satire show in the Middle East, one night only, November 27th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
Well, President Trump's critics have spent the past 17 months anticipating what some experts, or what some expect, will be among the most thrilling events of their lives. Special counsel Robert Mueller's final report on Russian 2016 election interference. But they may be in for a disappointment. That's the word Politico got from defense lawyers working on the Russia probe. No collusion. And more than 15 former government officials with investigation experience spanning Watergate to the 2016 election case. No collusion. The public, they say, shouldn't expect a comprehensive and presidency-wrecking account of Kremlin meddling and alleged obstruction of justice by Trump.
I'm Kremlin meddling.
Not to mention an explanation of the myriad subplots that have bedeviled lawmakers, journalists, and amateur Mueller sleuths. Perhaps most unsatisfying, Mueller's findings may never see the light of day.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works, said John Q. Barrett, a former associate counsel who worked under independent counsel Lawrence Walsh during the Reagan-era investigation into the U.S. arms sales to Iran. Mueller is a criminal investigator. He's not a government oversight, and he's not a historian. All of this may sound like a buzzkill after 2 years of intense news coverage depicting a potential conspiracy between the Kremlin and the Trump campaign, plus scores of tweets from the White House condemning the Mueller probe as a witch hunt. No collusion. But he'll have a report, and they may say thank you, and that'll be that.
We'll hear about it.
Nope, not necessarily.
There are leaks. There are all kinds of leaks. Someone will leak.
We didn't know until last week that Richard Nixon was facing 3 or 4 federal indictments.
Yeah, but that was before Twitter.
I'm sorry, Gina. Mueller isn't operating under the same ground rules as past high-profile government probes.
Can't Congress ask for it to be released if they go that far?
They can. And then there are ways that other members of Congress can block that, and it can get all tied up, and
because he's going to fire Jeff Sessions right after the election.
No collusion. No collusion. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's a really interesting story in the New York Times today about all the women who support Donald Trump and why they do.
I read that. Ew.
Many of Trump's female backers supported him only reluctantly, but they do so in spite of his body language and erratic behavior. But they see Trump as a hero protecting a certain way of life.
A certain way of life.
So I read this whole article, and nowhere in there does it say explain what that is. What is the way of life you want to protect? They don't come out and say racist stuff, but is that what it is?
Kind of.
Rich and white?
Yeah.
Shepherd wives.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Paulette.
Oh, it's our friend Paulette.
Hello.
That's what they look like in the picture, but it's a way of life of. Sort of upper middle class. I don't have to worry about anything.
But you wouldn't have to, regardless of who was president, because you're rich and white.
Everything
is in your favor.
But that's the way of life we want to protect.
And
we see more brown people around us all the time, and we don't like it.
Because why? I never get past that.
I don't get that.
What is it about that?
Because I feel insecure.
About what?
At rally after rally, women say they feel insecure and they want security.
Security from what?
The encroaching immigrants and crime.
You live in a gated community.
That's why we live in a gated community.
Well, then you're fine.
No! They can climb over.
No, you can order.
They can burrow under. They're going to get us.
No,
They let the help in.
Yeah.
Oh, but I trust Consuelo.
Consuelo and Lupe are good women.
But other than that,
the gates are shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't.
So let's see. We have just India just unveiled the world's tallest statue of a person, a towering bronze statue.
There it is. Oh my God!
It is.
he,
Let's see.
he looks disappointed in me.
It's Attack on Titan.
It is. It is. So the Statue of Liberty is 305 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a statue of Buddha that is 420 feet tall in China. This statue is 597 feet tall in India, and it is a statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
Why does he get a big statue?
Because, Gina, he is a national icon. He was...
He won India's Got Talent. And so there.
He was the country's first deputy prime minister.
Oh, okay.
He can spin plates?
He did. That was his talent. He had 10 of them going. They were going to put those next to the statue, but there was a wind shear situation.
He wore a cape like no one's business.
Well, he's no James Brown.
It's hard to pull off a cape like that. All right, that's it. I'm doing no more news. It's
No
time.
more. Are you?
Or do you want me to do one more story?
You are walking away from. No, I wasn't ready with the boner jingle yet. I can get it here.
Well, I can do one more if you want.
I am seconds away from getting.
All right, because I don't want to do any.
I don't blame you at
I'm
all.
sick of it.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
Climbing its way out of the mists of time from the 7 o'clock hour, the winner of round one of the boner voting. I can see it now coming. Yes, here it is. I see it. Boner candidate number one. Sorry about the stress. The Ogden City Police and the military conducting an operation in the middle of the night with helicopters and bombs and at a Rite Aid in the center of town at an abandoned Rite Aid. And they say, we tried to alert some of the residents in the neighborhood.
The ones we like.
With the reverse 911 calls, but not everybody got it. Scared the hell out of everybody.
Well, and they didn't want everyone to know because they were worried about looky-loos.
Well, if you got a crowd, then somebody might get hurt.
So do it at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Sorry about the stress. Boner candidate number one, going against the winner of round two. These are the people teaching your children. Some teachers and staff members at a school in Idaho who at Halloween built a cardboard wall, put Make America Great Again on it, then dressed up as Mexicans and stood behind it.
There you go.
That's real life.
That's real life,
Yeah. Idaho life.
That's real Idaho life.
You've got to decide of these two candidates which one is the most qualified to be boner of the day. This is Boner Fight. 1 or 2. Remember the candidate number that you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text. That's all we need is that single digit in the message so the computer can count it. 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight November 5. If you don't see that box, refresh. It'll appear. All right, here you go. It's Boner of the Day.
Gina wearing a turtleneck sweater today.
Covering up her hickeys. That's what people do.
It's interesting. People don't wear turtlenecks very often anymore.
Unless they're covering up hickeys.
You got something against hickeys?
That's why I used to have a dickie.
To cover your hickey?
To cover the hickey. It was my hickey dicky. I mentioned a Dickie the other day, and I don't think anyone knew what I was talking about.
I don't think anybody has them anymore.
Dickie is now a clothing brand, and that's what it's known for.
As a matter of fact, that's what I said. Somebody said to me, "Oh yeah, I love Dickies. Their coats and their pants," and I went,
"Yeah,
no, I'm
an
never
actual
mind.
Dickie.
Never mind.
It's a fake shirt.
Dickie was a fake sweater. Was it a fake shirt
it's a
or
collar.
Sweater?
You did
It's a
both?
fake sweater.
Fake sweater.
It was to make it look as though you were wearing a turtleneck
under your vest or jacket
or your shirt or whatever. Yeah, to make it look as though you were wearing a. It was really a stupid idea.
It was a dumb idea.
I had one, I think, for some reason.
But they were everywhere. It seems like I knew everybody had one.
Yeah.
Nobody wore them, but everybody had one.
It's a stupid idea.
Well, turtlenecks are stupid unless you're the Gorton's fisherman.
It's true.
Maybe I'm going fishing later.
Yeah, sure.
No, you're not. You're going to be way too warm in that.
You think?
Yeah.
You're dressed up for people today, aren't
We're
you?
seeing people.
Mm-hmm.
I've never worn this sweater, and I thought, I'll wear that.
Yeah, you'll be too warm. You'll be
Well, it's
uncomfortable.
too late now.
You're going to be sweating and sweating. It's going to be in your folds and everything.
I don't have any folds.
Of course not. She's a lady.
Yeah.
I'm smooth top to bottom.
You're damn right it is.
Just say, Alexa, play X96.
And then God looks at me, and he goes, Angel, what's with those pants? It's like, well, what do you mean, God? Would you talk about the style, the color? You know, what exactly is your beef with my choice of dungarees? And then he just stares at me for a while. Now, I hesitate saying it was a sexual stare, while with him meeting God and all. But I think he wanted me to take off my pants.
God, I bet he did.
He's probably a freak. I mean, come on. You don't make every woman scream your name during sex if you're not super into yourself.
Gina Barberi with incomplete sports, weather, and traffic. On X96, Radio from Hell.
And I have a podcast, too. Remain Seated with Gina Barberi. This week we talk dog training.
With our dog trainer.
Yeah. We talk about Carrie's dogs on my podcast. Your dogs have been a guest on my podcast before you have.
Woof.
Well, that's not my fault.
Okay.
It's not, no.
All right, time to award Boner of the Day.
Brought to you in part by...
Well, by ramen, which I made in the Instant Pot.
Mm-hmm.
And I had porridge in the morning. I hadn't had porridge in a long time. Steel-cut oats with brown sugar, cream, and raisins.
Was it 9 days old?
No. It wasn't peas porridge. It was steel-cut oats.
Peas porridge is completely different.
Yeah.
And go to Hale, Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air for a $49 furnace tune-up, which includes a 19-point safety inspection. Scott Hale, amazingly different, surprisingly better. ScottHale.com.
So, boner candidate number one, sorry about the stress. Ogden police apologizing to residents for startling late-night training, military-type training with helicopters and flash bombs and stuff at an abandoned Rite Aid in the heart of town. Going up against boner candidate number two, which was, these are the people teaching your children, Idaho. Teachers actually thought this border wall costume was a good idea. And there are plenty of parents who want to keep those teachers. There's a petition with 2,500 signatures on it to make sure that they're not fired. And I would say maybe they should not be fired. They just need to make sure they have a good understanding of why this is not just why it's not just funny.
You know what you did wrong, right?
Let's make sure we know what's wrong here. That's number two. Alan Williams won the Boner T-shirt, and the winner by about 40 votes. Boner candidate number two. These are the people teaching your children, Idaho.
All right, that's your Boner of the Day for November 5th, 2018. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week.
I would say of any of those Idaho teachers and administrators or people who did that, if any of them go, if they don't say, yeah, I get it, I'm sorry, we're sorry. If any of them say, well, I just don't see what the big deal, fire that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Paulette.
Hi.
This is our friend Paulette.
Good morning.
Hi. From New York, and Paulette is. We talk with Paulette from time to time. She's a wonderful baker and cake decorator and maker, and she's been on the Food Network and the Cooking Channel and
Netflix.
And Netflix, and she's said to Bobby Flay, "Take that."
I did.
She's all you.
You were robbed.
I'll show you one better, Flay.
I agree.
Period. You were robbed.
And Paulette's from Salt Lake and has family here, and she's back here in town because Paulette's sister unexpectedly had a medical emergency and then passed away.
So I thank you guys for letting me come on. My sister, her name is Corrine Harrison, and she taught at Highland High School for a while and at Hillside Middle School. So there are generations of kids that she touched.
Mm-hmm.
Her memorial service is Wednesday, 6 to 8:30 at Red Butte Gardens. We're expecting so many numbers. They're asking to please carpool. If you ever met my sister, you would have laughed the hardest in your life and felt her magic. She's a really special woman. And I thank you guys for letting me come on because I posted her memorial service and I started a GoFundMe for her son. My sister had been trying to get pregnant since I had my baby when I was 30, so 15 years ago. And we all just thought it wasn't going to happen for her. And she's...
Wait a minute, you're 45? I can't believe it.
46.
Oh.
Thank you so much. But I'm as fun as a couple 22-year-olds. So
yes, you are.
That is true.
So my sister went to the doctor because she goes, I think I've got diabetes or cancer. So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor goes, oh, you've got something. You're 5 months pregnant.
She had no idea.
No clue.
How long ago was that?
So her baby Logan turned 1 in July. And he is just the most magical, spirited baby. It's a real gift to get to have him because he's so much of Corrine's. So it's a tragedy that he won't get to grow up with her, but it's a mixed blessing because he won't have that heartbreak that we're all feeling. So I'm trying to look for every plus that I have here. So just the light of her life.
Yeah.
So it was a real treat to to get to enjoy this precious little baby. But again, I thank you guys for letting me come on because there's so many students, families, parents. She also worked at a school here. It's a boarding school, and I've gotten so many people messaging me saying how she touched and helped because Corrine was a true healer. You didn't have to go to her for her to make you better, but she would teach you how to make yourself better, and that's a true healer. She had that gift where you just wanted to do your absolute best. I say that she's my number one fan and my best friend, but she was everyone's number one fan. If she loved you, she was your number one fan. So we were all lucky to get to love her.
Corrine
Harrison. Corrine Martin Harrison. We were known from the Ritz days as the Martin sisters. We were just always together. If you knew me, you knew my sister. You knew my sister, you knew me. That's just how it went. So
where can people find the GoFundMe information?
I'll send you guys the link. It's on my Facebook page, Paulette Martin. It's an open. I made it public so everyone can come to it. And I'm making a slideshow for the memorial service. And the Milk Beast, Bessie, makes an appearance.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's so much of you guys in our lives.
We may need a copy of that picture.
It's a really good one. There's just kids dripping off of it, as it always was at every stop, right?
Yeah. And so the memorial service is at Red Butte Garden.
Red Butte Garden this Wednesday, 6 to 8:30. All are welcome. We have the biggest room. We have got chairs, but I don't want anyone to feel like they can't come. If you knew Corrine and you loved her, everyone's welcome to be there.
All right.
So sorry.
Thank you. I am
sorry.
too. Thank you.
It's nice to see you. I'm glad.
I got to see you too. I just have to say, Corrine was inappropriately funny at all moments. So the whole point is that we make people laugh during this thing. So life's a celebration. Enjoy yourself, biatches.
Okay.
You're welcome, Richie.
We could probably send a stand-up comedian there if you want. We don't need that.
Actually,
do you have entertainment?
Well, there's me, and I'm always entertaining.
Well, you're always. Yes.
We'll see how medicated I am that night. But absolutely, because Corrine, no matter what the situation, how inappropriate it was, would make you laugh. Like absolutely, she had me holding my gut, laughing at a graveyard my last visit, and there was a funeral like feet away, and I'm on the ground laughing with tears. So the whole point of this is to remember and honor her. But we have to laugh because that's what she would do for us.
Richie just found the GoFundMe and posted it on the Radio from Hell Facebook page. So
perfect. Education was big for Corrine, so this is going for her son's college education. We want to make sure it's no hurdles for him to get to college.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you, Paulette.
Love you guys.
Someone
Thank
says
you.
thank you for your caramel cookie recipe.
And Gina did it fine. Totally good. And I'm posting another holiday cookie soon, so we can talk about that.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Don't forget about my cookies
Well,
in your mouth.
Yeah. You can stay here if you want.
Okay, I will.
Well, yes, after you've had Paulette's cookies in your mouth.
You'll want no other.
You'll want to brush your teeth, because that caramel, it'll just get stuck in there. Quip is the name of the electric toothbrush that has certainly changed my life. Created by dentists and designers. It's got a built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides. That'll help you get your full even clean, because 90% of us don't brush for that full 2 minutes that we're supposed to be brushing, or maybe you're brushing too hard. That's why this one is Quip is calibrated to be just kind of a gentle vibration brush, and the brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. That's a lot cheaper than the ones that I was buying. Boy. I love Quip, and they're backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/X96 right now, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. Don't forget to do that, getquip/X96, so that you get the deal and we get the credit. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/X96, getquip.com/X96.
Just a quick note here. Is a statistic for you. Only 1 out of 9 people say that they would donate, when they died, would donate their uterus for transplant.
Why only?
One
now,
out
are
of 9.
these people?
Only 1 out of 9 said that they would allow a family member to donate a uterus. They're doing uterus transplants in they're playing God in Russia or someplace like that.
Are these people that would donate other organs?
Yeah.
So you can have my eyes, you can have my kidneys.
Can't have my uterus.
Why?
Uterus donation, they think is. Oh, it was in Saudi Arabia. I think it was done. Doctors in Saudi Arabia. I guess they. I don't know. Okay, Gina, would you donate your uterus?
You can have whatever you want of mine when I die. Because guess what? I'm dead.
Richie's raised his hands.
I want your uterus.
You can have it, honey.
I'd keep it in a box. I'd use it for a catcher's mitt.
Please use. Everything's very well preserved.
I think people think it's just too creepy. Your uterus is well preserved?
Sure.
It's low mileage. One owner?
Kids.
It's a one
I only
owner?
drive it to and from church on Sunday, and that's it.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Good. Please have it.
All right.
Take my uterus.
Unless we Utahns are diligent, our taxes will be raised without our knowledge. Did you know that right now there's an organization who thinks they know better than you how to save Utah schools? This group wants to raise your taxes. Wouldn't you agree that's just not right? Well, so does Republican Representative Arthur McCarty from Roadside Table, Utah. He began the group opposed to the suggested 10-cent Jello tax. Citizens against People for Alternative Revenue Tax Income believe that not only is the proposed Jello tax wrong, it's also cost prohibitive. The state would have to establish a Jello commission and then open costly state-run Jello stores. Then it's only a matter of time before racketeers would begin smuggling in gelatin from neighboring states. Taxing green gelatin would also place an unfair burden on those people who mostly buy this product. Large LDS families, already on a tight budget, would end up paying for a greater portion of public education than would people with no children at all. And that's just not fair.
Hello, I'm Republican Representative Arthur McCarty. Please call your state legislatures and tell them to vote NO on the green Jello tax. It's time to get big government off our backs.
Paid for by Citizens Against People for Alternative Revenue Tax Income.
original alternative X96.
9:50.
So I was driving up to Ogden yesterday.
Yes.
And I forget the candidate's name, or big billboard, it was something like somebody Brown, a woman. And one of the, you're driving, you can't read the whole, but one of the qualities listed was competent.
Well, that's the very least you could ask for.
What the heck? Is that what you want listed as one of your qualifications for office? She's competent.
She's coherent.
Competent.
She's
coherent
conscious.
and conscience.
She's
conscious. She's got the 3 C's.
The best we can do in Ogden is
there was a picture of her with her, how they put how do you do that pose where you put 2 hands on your hips? Yeah, like that.
This is very political.
Yeah. So 2 hands on one hip. She's competent. I thought, she looked nice, but
Well, then I could run for office.
Yeah.
Are you competent?
Barely.
But
But medicated.
Conscious? Barely.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
And it depends on where you're going to be running, Paulette.
Oh, yeah, I do real well here.
You're not.
No.
I look the part, but then the mouth opens up.
I think you should run for office in a foreign country.
I would do so well in any Latin country.
I think so.
Goddess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
this
right.
breeding hips and
100%.
butt.
The blonde goddess comes to run.
Because I've had people say to me, well, you ought to run. Bill ought to run.
Yeah, I've had that too.
And I'm like, no.
Nope.
Nobody ever says I should run.
I'll never win. I would never
From the
win.
Remain Seated podcast, they say you shouldn't run. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to get up.
Do I have to get up?
A little bit.
It would be. You'd have to make the effort to put both hands on your hip.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that.
But spin it as a positive. She'll always be at the office.
You can
Sitting
find
down.
me.
Remaining
Yes.
seated.
No, she won't always be at the office.
That's true.
I have to go.
At 10:05, I will be out of the office.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No.
Well, just a reminder before we leave. By 5 o'clock tonight, your ballot needs to be postmarked by
That's right.
5 o'clock tonight. I've read that if you're at the post office and you're in line at 5 o'clock, but by the time
They'll
you get to
still-
the counter,
Yeah.
so just do it before then. If something happens and it's 6 o'clock and you're like, I didn't get it, you can take that mail-in ballot to the polls tomorrow and just drop it off.
Vote.utah.gov, and you can take it to your local polling place.
Yeah.
Also, there's a rally at the state capitol tonight. The kids from the March for Our Lives, which all came out of that Marjorie Stoneman High School at Parkland, Florida. There's a rally at the state capitol at 6 o'clock tonight. Anybody can show up, but it's to encourage kids to vote, 18 years and older. If you're 18, you can vote, and you can register to vote today and tomorrow. So go to vote.utah.gov to do that. Have you voted, sir?
I have.
Yeah? What's your name?
Hi, I'm John.
Hi, John. Have you voted?
I am also
Mr. John?
Yes, I dropped off my ballot this morning.
You remembered to sign it, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, my lovely wife dropped off her ballot.
What's your first name, Mr. John?
John.
John.
Yeah.
John.
Smith. Actually.
John
Smith. Yeah, you got it.
John Smith.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. sir.
Competent.
Competent John Smith. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you voted.
I want you to know that
Yeah.
if you were to run for office,
Yes,
I
me?
wouldn't vote for you.
I don't blame you. No one should ever vote for me.
You would not have my vote.
No, I would be a terrible I'd be terrible in office. Horrible.
No, see, I think we'd be good at office.
No one would
My
vote
point
for
is
you.
that we would never win an election.
No, never would. I mean, I'd probably do okay.
If you remembered my name, well,
Who?
then
what is it again?
Then we'd have then I'd be one of.
All
your
right, let me try.
constituents.
What's your name again?
John
Smith. John Smith. John Smith.
It never gets old, does it?
Let's do the promo.
Okay.
All right. Tuesday is election day in Utah.
Make plans for tomorrow so that you can go to the polls and cast your vote.
If you have any questions, go to vote.utah.gov.
Oh, and listen to Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
Or you can ask me. I'll tell you who to vote for.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'd be happy to.
Stop me in the hallway.
Yeah.
See
Are
me
we allowed to do that? I thought that was against the rules.
No, I can.
Is it?
I'll tell you who to vote for.
Well, somebody better tell Mr. Hannity that it's against
Yeah,
the
exactly.
rules.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, really.
Put him in jail.
Remember, a vote for Mia Love is a vote for Trump.
yeah, I don't think she was on my ballot. I think I'm in the wrong district.
Yeah, you're in the.
I'm sick of both of them.
You're in a different district.
Jeez.
Let's see. So we got everything.
Yeah, don't forget the Blue October.
The Blue October announcement was made today.
Nightmare Before Xmas.
Yes.
John will have more information on that.
Lots more.
What else have you got going today?
I have tickets to see some things.
He doesn't know.
You don't know.
No, I know. I'm just saving it for later. I'm building anticipation.
That's not it.
No, I'm good at that.
That's not what you're doing.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
They get free chicken fried steak?
Mm-hmm.
John Smith is next.
I'm competent.
A 1 hour nonstop music wing ding starts now. X96.